Out here for the 15th consecutive Monday they play. We go back to 1950, the first time these two teams played. Had 99,000 in 1958. It's become a tradition. Queen's birthday. It's Collingwood and the D's.
And the Melbourne fans have come in big numbers, and the Pies too. They're expecting just on 70,000. First clean break to the Demons. Viney, Lumumba against the old guard. Back to Viney, quickly over the top to Cross. Now to Dunn, who just waits a moment, cruises past side bottom. Now at the fall of the ball, that man does so much aerially, this time just knocks it on.
Play on.
Well, chance in the end, losing his feet. Riley over the top, little slap. Langdon, Williams, clever, back inside Goldsack. Well, Seedsman's got a couple of demons coming at him, and the fumble sees it over. The D's have had wonderful starts in the last few weeks. They haven't been able to hold on to them.
Jeddah has gone to Elliott. I'm a bit surprised. I thought Garland actually might take Elliott.
He can play, well, he plays tall, Elliott, and Garland can play smalls and talls, can't he? So let's see how that develops him. Jones getting down low, did well. Gets it to Vince. Vince has got a long leg, we know that. Gets the ball to about 45 metres. Hogan made a pretty good contest. Williams, clever, released it in a hurry. Langdon did well. Switches, Brown, Tuvey, out wide for Solo. Maxi talked pre-match about what they require from him in the defensive part. Back to Brown. Great to see continuity from him. Good kick to Elliott. So brave, Elliott. Never took his eye off the footy. Twists and turns his man. Kicks it beautifully to Cloak. Got him. How good was that?
That's the kick. Unbelievable kick. Straight over the top. He knew where the space was. Trav Cloak just protected it beautifully. It's hard to stop as a defender there, but as you said, Jamie Elliott, he's the one who set it up, and really strange matchup, Tim. I certainly didn't see that one coming, and the other one is Howe playing in the forward line, so Goldsack's gone to him.
15 goals!
That is a great one-on-one mark.
So these are the ones that can worry the big fella, we know that. Right in front, can't miss, and he does, but let's see if he can get a good start. You'd back him from here, and he's got it home. Collingwood get the first. Cloak's on the board.
Well, I reckon that came really from their inability, Melbourne, to put any real pressure on across half-back and hold the ball in there, and that has to be part of their concentration today. Maxie, when they get the ball in there, they've got to make sure it's a hard out. If Collingwood escape that part of the ground and it's as open as we saw then they won't have any trouble at all scoring today.
And Nathan Brown was the one who actually received the handball and ran, and that's something he's had to add to his game. He's always been a shutdown, but he hasn't been used to actually going out and winning the ball himself, so it's good to see.
Here we see the kick coming down here, and Elliott's work in here close was fantastic. Courage to go back with the play, but this kick weighted to the preferred side of Cloak was just perfect. What about the matchups in the middle? Vince has gone to Pendlebury and Jones to Swan. That's what we wanted to see. That's going to be a great battle between those two midfielders.
Well, Blair was clever to crisp, and then to half-forward again. Elliott on cue. Jeddah's got a big afternoon ahead of him. Elliott so brilliant in the last 2 weeks, 5 in each of the last 2 outings, and he's been instrumental already again. Cloak the target. McDonald, Newton involved. Watts, a couple of Pies tackling him. Langdon tries to feed to Oxley onto the left boot. Now Swan and Vince watch as the ball drifts out of bounds, so the Demons get their hands back on the football, but it's looking ominous early.
I think one of the things I'll be monitoring in the box already is the number of possessions that Elliott has and how damaging he might be. I mean, the last thing you want to do is have Collingwood blow you out of the water early in the game.
Well, Jeddah is always sent to the dangerous small forward, but he has to diffuse real danger in Elliott. Blair sweeps the handball. Now Seedsman, top of the square. Well, danger time again, this time for Solo. Read it well, kicked the space, drifted onto it. Another opportunity from dead in front, and Paul Roos goes scrambling for answers.
Again, it's that kick into the forward line. Paul Seedsman saw where the space was. He kicked it there and actually made for Solo lead to that space. So he can be very damaging with the ball, Paul Seedsman.
What a brilliant handball that was from Blair.
So 5 weeks in the VFL after being dropped after round 2. 3 goals and then 2 goals straight in the last couple of weeks. You heard the size. So a blemish. Pies by 7 points. Early going. Queen's birthday clash.
He's normally reliable in front of goal for Solo. He really misses from the sets. So Dunn. They just need some composure here, don't they? Lumumba, of course, against the old team. He's one of 8 Magpie Premiership players out there today. The only one, obviously, in the Demons. He got away with that to Fitzpatrick. Hogan up the ground. Pendlebury got it from Hogan, and then Pendlebury, clever. There have been very few that have ever played the game that had vision like Pendlebury.
She just took off then. Harry had no idea what he was going to do. I think he was just hoping that by doing that, no one else would know what he was going to do too. But there were no other options for him, actually. There was no handball option for him. In the end, he just ran into trouble. And this is just a dream start so far for Collingwood.
So this will test him, you feel. Just probably right on his limit. What a fine player he is, Blair. He's timed it well. Has he got the length? He has, I think. It's a goal. Well, it was right on his limit, but he didn't try and overkick it. He's interesting, Blair, because at his absolute best, he was that small forward in that premiership type year and had a couple of big seasons. Then he became more midfield, but I think he is a small forward, don't you?
Yeah, no, he's a real good pressure type forward. And at the moment, Melbourne have had 6 kicks and 7 handballs, and I would say that of those 7 handballs, none of them have really been that constructive. They've been get out of trouble type handballs. Just watching Scott Penrose in time just stand still when he's got hold of the ball. He sees everything. And once again, he just puts it to the right bloke.
He's like Kasparov. He's always a move ahead of his opponent. He always thinks so fast and moves so calmly and rarely makes a mistake.
Before the game, we spoke about those 3 small forwards. Blair, Elliott and Fasolo all been involved heavily early.
So Cloak and Blair, the goal scorers today. And Blair in the middle of the ground. Vince, hands and knees, feeds it back to Lumumba, tumbling the ball. Frost, right spot. It's away from Hogan. Garlett too, dropped the football. Garlett did enough. Hogan feeds it back to Jeffy. Now back inside, loose man. Howe's at the back. Williams tries, but Howe in the right spot can go and kick the first for the D's.
Well, that was all about that forward pressure then. Garlett getting the arm in, knocking the ball to the ground. Watch this. It's just a hand in there. It wasn't enough to actually grab hold of him in a tackle. He gets rewarded then by getting the follow-up play and then just places that beautifully to Howe.
He's only kicked 1 for the year, and that was after a big grab against the Dogs here at the G. Well done. The boy from Dodgers Ferry gets the Demons first.
And Maxie, do you think playing him forward today is about the fact that they believe that maybe Collingwood's one marking defender or one bigger type defender short?
Yeah, well, Goldsack's the one who's playing that 3rd tall role, so usually you get a resting ruckman or someone like that, but obviously Melbourne haven't got that really big guy to go in as that 3rd tall, but they're going with Howe. But I played a lot of footy on Howe, and he's a guy who is really hard to match up on. You've got to make sure you keep him away so that he can't have a big run and jump at the ball.
So, Maxie, you talked about the fact you've played on Howe. I mean, how nervy do you get when the ball's coming in on one-on-one with him?
You've just got to do so much extra work off the ball because you can't allow him to have a run up at it. And then obviously now with the new rules, you run the danger of blocking him before he gets there.
So it's the goal the D's needed.
I like him as a forward, though. I like him being up there because he's always in it and you're always worried about him. You're always nervous around him.
Well, a minute ago he was standing there and the ball hadn't got down there. You were thinking he should have been at the other end just for the moment, but it might work out okay. So he's got the goal. Blair's little give. Tackle from Riley there, and Blair again got taken high, but all right. Crisp.
Holding the ball, Melbourne.
So Watt's an early touch here. This is important.
Stay up, play on.
Normally a pretty good kick. Watts goes to half forward. Oh, Hogan nearly. He's done it again, Howe. He has. How good is that? Well, as a coach, you've got to say to yourself, we've pulled a rabbit out of the hat.
Well, he can play as a defender, but he's an instinctive forward.
We know, yeah.
That's what he's good at, isn't it? And you know, critically, they won that centre break battle there too because there were bodies going everywhere. Collingwood looked like they were going to escape. They applied enough pressure, and then they're able to win the ball through a free kick. And that's when you find your forward line as open as it's going to be at any stage during the day. Well, there's the first contest. Hogan goes to ground, beautifully read by Howe, and then a wonderful finish, this time on his non-preferred left foot.
I'd love to clone him, wouldn't they? 1 forward, 1 back. But, Tim, how different do the Demons look with a big forward that crashes the packs?
I think it's what every side would like, Hammer.
And Jesse Hogan is doing it.
This is 4 on 2.
Doing it every time. Pies got the numbers, as Tim said. Well, side bottom had it, lost it, coming back. It was a throw
Against Swan.
Here, yep.
They were under real pressure here too. There was a 4 on 2. Collingwood in their front half had worked harder from the spread.
It was sleight of hand, but the umpire picked up on the magic trick. Back to McDonald, who would be leading the Demons best and fairest. He's in wonderful form. And
Back 2 metres.
well, he's from Eden Hope. It was the cup there yesterday. He's a terrific kid. They speak so highly of him. Here's dangerous times. Elliott, Jetta had to wait. Well, the bounce was okay in the end. He held Billy just up enough. McDonald over the top. Jetta's still got some problems. They're coming at him. Broomhead. He almost got there. Tumpus to Lumumba.
Gee, that was a good kick by Tumpus. He had to change the direction. Lumumba. He would have been a bit nervy today. How again? What about her, Ricky? Would have been? Is it awkward to play against the old team for him today or not?
No, it would have been for sure. I had dinner with him last night, so he was a little bit nervous, but he just wants to take the game on. And we've seen already, he will make some mistakes, but at least he's taking the game on and breaking the lines for the Demons.
So how a focal point early. Collingwood by a point.
Fitzpatrick, White, in the end Riley over the shoulder. Goldsack bounces nicely into the hands, and he has a bit of time here just to compose himself. Well, not often you get around how he did on that occasion. Now the tumbling ball. Brown goes for some distance. Back into Demons' hands.
That's a win. Anytime you can put that sort of pressure on as a forward group and force the ball over the boundary line like that, even for Brown, had that ball stayed in play, it was just a long, high kick in hope.
Stay there.
Tim, the tackle pressure of Melbourne's been fantastic. 10-3 so far, led by the skipper Nathan Jones with 4. So that pressure all over the ground has obviously been a strong message coming from the coaching group.
And it looks like it's De Goey that's gone to Jones as well, which is a bit of a surprise.
So Dunn, Pedersen, big fly. Well, not quite in the end. Howe's claiming pushed in the back. Umpire doesn't want to know about it. Vandenberg might just be able to pick up Howe's scraps. Did a good job. Strong in the body. The boy from Tathra, maybe for 3. Offline. What a pickup he's been. Hasn't missed a game this year. Mature age recruit. Added so much.
Yeah, no, he's got an AFL body already. I mean, he's a crash and bash. He loves the contest. He loves to feel body on body.
He's not intimidated, is he?
No, not at all. Not in any way.
So this has been a good reply. It's early in this match, but Collingwood started with a couple of goals, everything happening for them, and the underdog have struck back. Good fly, good mark by Cloak, up the ground. He kicked the opening goal today, leans back. Elliott's been important already. De Goey on the left. Dunn was just leading Blair, didn't get to them. Swan, clever enough, gives Blair half a chance. McDonald poking forward. Swan dangerous here. And Collingwood get it to the forward pocket and the boundary throw in.
The thing is, if Howe can keep being dangerous down there, I'm not sure what the matchups can be. If Goldsack can't handle him, they like Tuvia on the small forward, which is someone that's important role for him, so they don't want him playing on a tall guy.
So Pedersen just drifts. White couldn't get hold of it. Vince, arms stretched. Vandenberg through the pigeons, back to Vince. Now to Tumpus. Well, De Goey was quick. Still dangerous times for the Demons. Still side bottom, taken the ground. Jetta the tackler. It was all desperate stuff from Melbourne's point of view.
Not 15, guys.
Well, the pigeon having his Monday upset by Blair and McDonald.
Thanks, Steele.
Bill Laurie would be watching on, terrified.
Loves his pigeons.
Play on.
Does the Phantom.
Play on.
Watts got a little shove, then held up.
Play on.
Ball not out.
Mine, that ball came out. Didn't get him high.
They can be dangerous, Collingwood. They've scored on average 4 goals a game from these stoppages inside their front half.
And Pendlebury gives it a whack. Tim to fall forward. Cloak strong in the body.
It's outside. Yeah, Travis.
So we've been singing McDonald's praises, and rightly so, and yet Cloak having a really good start to this match.
He's so physically strong, and going back to the days when he was only sort of second and third year into the game, guys like James Clement and Shane Wakeland, they were shaking their heads going, how are we going to wrestle this guy at training? So you know what he's like now when he's had a lot of football behind him.
3 good marks today, hasn't he? Is he a hard man to wrestle, Maxie, at training?
It's impossible.
He's got it. So he's kicked 2 goals in the opening term. So 3 marks for Cloak. I mean, the one at half-back, the couple of...
He's in great touch. And the 2 that he's taken against McDonald, they've been one-on-one. So there has been no assistance whatsoever for McDonald. And as a defender, I mean, what you really want if you're wrestling with your own men, you want somebody to come in over the top. And I think the way that Collingwood are trying to play Cloak with McDonald is to play him really deep, because McDonald can be a running force for them if he's up further up the ground.
And here's Cloak, as you said, 3 marks now, and big one from the back line. Collingwood fans very, very happy with that. I'm sure they were on the edge of their seat, even when he was that close. But great start by Travis Cloak.
With 13 marks on the ground, 3 contested marks, all Cloak. So Jones to Cross. Now long wait for both Howe and Riley. Howe got up, just knocked it forward. Garlett's on the end of this. He'll have the pace. The ball wasn't kind in the end. Tuvey went to ground.
Tuvey.
Taken high.
Let him up. It's your free kick. It's Collingwood free. No, not yours. Him. Straight away.
Yeah, Cloakey's talked about what a confidence player he is too. Like, if he gets off to a great start, then he feels so much better about his game. Well, he couldn't be off to a better start today.
Yeah, suddenly Tom McDonald, who we've been speaking about, would be having some doubts about himself. He's so good at keeping the power forwards to a couple and not many more. Vince threads his way through. Clever in the end. A little kick over the top. Bouncing ball for Viney. Cloak now at half-back doing the tackling. Good tackle too. Marley Williams gets involved. Cloak just bulldozes his way through. Garland was the tackler. Support came, and Viney underneath it all, but the Pies again through Oxley come away, and Elliott on the wing.
So Elliott getting a fair bit of it. Cloak we've talked about. So the key 2 forwards for Collingwood in terms of their goal kickers up and about. Elliott's kick to centre wing.
Great kick.
And to go, he protected it well, Tim. It was a good kick.
He just pulled that kick beautifully. He weighted it perfectly for De going.
Not the first time he's kicked the ball well today. Remember that first one to Cloak. White front spot, and Fitzpatrick belts the ball over.
See side bottom and Cross there. That's a hard tag by Cross.
It's been a good pick-up, hasn't he? I mean, he was on the outer in the end at the Dogs. What a great player. But 13 games in his last season as a Bulldog, and he's done the job at Melbourne that they wanted from him. He and Vince coming at the same time. Cross, of course, a few years on from Vince. Grundy. Grundy again. Second, third efforts, Grundy. Still going. Still in there, the big guy.
Melbourne just have to be careful here. Their forwards don't get sucked too high up. I was watching it when Pendlebury got that last one for the Cloak goal. If there's a quick kick out of defence here, the Collingwood back set up really well.
So Gawn in his first match of the year against Grundy. Newton gave it to Garland. Kick was just smothered back into the hands of Viney. A fumble from Gawn. Well, Fasolo doesn't fumble too often. Quickly to Broomhead. Tumbling ball. Cloak, McDonald, Jetta, Jones. Brayshaw, first touch of the afternoon, working it into Howe direction. Howe's got 3 to beat the fumble. Well, they had the numbers, the Pies, and Goldsack just reloads. Suddenly Cloak, that was all pretty clinical stuff.
Isn't he working hard up and down the ground?
You'd like to have his GPS at the moment. It'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? He's at both sides, Tim, of the ground, and well up, as you say. That one to the pocket. White's big fly, good mark. Gawn coming from the side. 208 centimetres he is. He's a monster. Viney. Great that he's back. He was the sub in his return match last week. Good pick up by McDonald. Now he's gone. Well, not gone. Boundary throwing. It was a good tackle from Blair.
He was given a lot of time then to get rid of the ball, and there was just no options. They all dried up. He looked up the field. There was nothing on, and that's why he hesitated.
Bit fortunate, I think.
That's really good defensive play again from Collingwood, though, just to block those exits.
Well, Gawn got his hand on it first. Swan knew where the ball was going to fall, as he has done for so much of his career. Viney, his 3rd year. Swan just continues to influence matches in his 13th. But the match needed to have a hero last week. He and Pendlebury and Billy Elliott all came to the fore. Crisp to Swan. Well, Newton did enough. He got there in the end. Garland couldn't take it cleanly. Fasolo, Broomhead, back to Blair, stolen by Vince. Now a thumping ball to the wing. Hogan, Frost. Well, Hogan just paddles it forward. Frost just keeps in close confines, takes him to ground, puts it underneath him. He's in trouble here, Hogan. He is gone.
He's a scrapper, Frost. He might not look pretty all the time, but he's a tough guy to beat one-on-one.
That was a great illustration of the contest between the two, wasn't it?
It's a bit like the old training days when the coach used to pair you up and kick the ball out wide, and the pair you just go for it. Exactly what happened there.
Nathan Buckley would have said him for him. He would have said, look, you might play him for the next 8 years, so it's important you make a statement today.
Well, so let's see how it unravels as the day goes on, Maxie, because bragging rights first up can be a big thing. Hogan might end up with a handful, but that was terrific by Frost. Hasn't missed a game for a while, Frost. He's on he's a rookie list still, isn't he? He's on the rookie list, so he hasn't missed a game for ages. So from the start of last year, Jones kicks to centre wing. Brown belting it away. Varco, good pick up. On the up. Oxley back. Pendlebury. Crisp. Back. Frost just took his eye off for a sec. No damage. Pendlebury changes the directions. Goldsack will bring it wide. Door to Williams.
Well, Riley closes in. Williams has got a bit of thinking to do here. Did well. Seedsman gave support. Brayshaw continues to pressure. Goldsack over the top. Seedsman just thrown out of it by Howe in the end. Got a couple. Puts it to a dangerous spot. Watts just can't fumble, but he did. Langdon the tackler, and suddenly the Pies off the hook. Should have been a Demons goal. Grundy over the top. Langdon. They'll come away with it, but only just. Quick give, Crisp to Varco. What could have been for the Demons is suddenly what might be for Collingwood. Long ball, Elliott amongst a couple of Demons. Through hands, they're running now. Elliott, Jetta, still Elliott, now Swan, and the Magpies get one. What a brilliant goal, end to end. Well, it just should not have been at the other end. Jack Watts will be disappointed. A fumble. And the Magpies have made the Demons pay, out to a 2-goal lead. It was a beautiful kick from Howe. He did so much good work against the boundary. Left foot, top of the square, couldn't have kicked it any better. In the end, Dane Swan, he gets a goal.
So that was a big miss, and there's a reaction from the coach. He's...
We didn't catch the end of the start of that one, but Jamie Elliott went up for the mark against 2. When he hits the ground, he just takes off. He doesn't even waste any time worrying about a free kick or anything. He just stays involved, and that's why he's so dangerous.
He never loses his feet on.
Stay out.
So Collingwood with a couple in a row after they kicked the first 2. Grundy to fall for. Cloak got it again. Yep.
He's on fire.
He's taken 5 marks in the opening term.
And I don't know what they do with the matchup. If they want to move Tom McDonald, it's going to be Fitzpatrick, and he's such a young defender. He hasn't spent much time down there at all. So I think they've just got to stick it out unless they go for Lyndon Dunn, who's going to be undersized.
Just a touch before that, the body work he did on McDonald too, just to sort of ease him back with his hand.
So 4 contested marks for Cloak, 5 in total, and 3 first-quarter goals.
You talk about moments, Tim, in matches. Jack Watts at the other end levels the ball game, and it's not to be. Suddenly, it's a 3-goal game 60 seconds later.
He had to take that, and that's the second time that Collingwood have been able to score a goal from a rebound and a turnover at that part of the ground. So that's something that the Melbourne players are going to have to concentrate on in terms of being able to switch in transition from attack to defence. This is as good a contester's mark as you're going to see this season.
Well, he is looking as dangerous as we have seen him look this year. The ball looking forward, he's accurate in front of goals, and he's clunking everything near him. Howe's got the only 2 majors for the Demons. You'd think he's just too far. Pedersen, he's leading, so too Newton, all ignored for the moment. Short ball. Well done in the end. So Vandenberg, the chosen one, the responsibility with the rookie season player. 3-7 for the year for the 23-year-old. And the D's need this after the Pies have kicked the last 3. Cloak, then Swan, and then Cloak again after the 2 Howe goals. Got the game back on even terms. Well, the kick from Aaron Vandenberg, disappointing, but still through Gawn, an opportunity for the Demons. Brown was tackled still. The Pies have got to do something clever here. Newton attacked on to Goey, busting his way through, trying to work it. It was Viney, but the numbers around the ball should work out for the Pies. Langdon, well, had it, lost it. Howe went searching. Crisp on the right boot this time, buys some territory. Brayshaw and Seedsman now into space. A foot race. Jones coming from the other direction. Cloak. Jones did well, floated over the top. Brayshaw needs to paddle it, did well. Dunn under pressure. Through, maybe a chance for Jetta. Yep, they're out here. Lumumba, well, finds his man in Dunn.
They've done pretty well. Dunn sweeps it. Clever by Newton. Jones, clever again. Vandenberg off a step. It was touched on the way through Williams. It's great pressure footing from both teams. Collingwood are in here. They've got a panic. The ball bounces the wrong way for them. But Fasolo's got it. They've still got a panic. You know who's on the end of it, don't you? Because he's going to kick his fourth. Yep, he's kicked 4 in the opening term. Cloak. Well, not sure if he's ever done that before. We might get Dave involved. Does he kick 4 in the first quarter before? This is big stuff, isn't it?
Massive start by Cloak, and I still think players are confused by when they can actually rush the ball. You saw the Pies are under huge pressure down their back line, and disappointing for Melbourne. It's 3 times now they've put real pressure on the Collingwood defenders, and it's still gone for a goal the other end. So they're doing everything right at the moment.
On your leg, guys.
Jetta just had to take that ball, though. That ball in the centre of the ground just had to be taken. He had to take out Fasolo. He had to take the ball. He had to take everything.
Well, these are the days
never have escaped.
These are the days coaches sort things out, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Cloak, he kicked 5 against the Saints in round 3. He's kicked 7-2 before, but right now all signs are heading towards a PB. Pendlebury, hands and knees. He's got plenty to deal with. If he dealt with it all well, Blair tried to work his way through. McDonald the same, and Blair the second and third and fourth effort.
They've made the change to Lyndon Dunn. Looks like he's gone to Travis Cloak now. Tom McDonald's already been moved off him. That's how hot Cloak has been coming into this game. We're talking about McDonald being All-Australian form.
Well, suddenly, Broomhead onto the left. Where is Cloak? He won't get near this. Fall of the ball done. Pushed out of it by Swan. Did a good job. He's hot right now, Travis Cloak. 4 straight. And we've only played 26 minutes.
So what does Dunn do, Maxie? Does he try and mark everything, or does he just watch Cloak all the time?
No, he's just got to back himself. He's still got to go for the ball like he did then.
So White doing the ruck work. Blair, Swan, Oxley. Collingwood are playing very well. Good smother from Garlett. Tuvey. Had it a while. Brown. Side bottom. And down the line kick. Watts. Can he break the tackle? Stood up okay. Put Riley under the pump. Crisp. Kicks to full forward. Cloak and Dunn. It's been Cloak and daggers, hasn't it? Here he is done. So a tiny little win for a moment. Viney. Well, it's a terrible kick. He was on the back foot.
And the reason was because of the Collingwood defenders. They'd set up out the back. Marley Williams was the one who was going to get on the end of a kick if it was a long one. So he tried to pull it and kick it short instead.
And there's the pressure on the player with the ball. And then they've got that player set up further down the field to actually mark the ball.
Is it coming back for Seedsman? It is. He won the Anzac medal, and we've got a Neil Danaher medal today, which we'll talk about as the match goes on. I tell you what, Travis Cloak could probably sit down for half an hour and he'd have a chance.
I've already feel.
I think Tim, you and Maxie are involved in the voting. I know.
I'm the chairman, by the way, too.
You overrule me anytime.
Haven't they been outstanding, though, Collingwood? Their ball movement, all parts of the ground, pressure. Actually, Bucks should take some more time off and spend more time just recuperating at home on the couch, because they are doing everything that you would wish your team to do so far early in this game.
The last 5 goals of the match after Howe kicked 2 in a row, and suddenly it's a 30-point lead. They're looking so dangerous, the Pies. Howe tumbles the ball forward. Well done, Hogan, front spot. They're desperate for this, the Demons, and maybe the great White Hype can deliver.
And the Collingwood defensive coach, Ben Hart, will actually have a word to say about Tyson Goldsack then, because he let Howe go in and impact that contest, which is fine, but you've got to position yourself a lot better, and he needed to pull back about 20 metres and get himself involved in that contest.
What a start to his AFL career. 16 goals so far, 8 matches. Worst result is 1 straight. That was against the Dockers. This for his first this afternoon. Well done, Jesse Hogan. Demons get one after 5 in a row to the Pies. So back to 24 points, and Jesse Hogan, who has been such a crucial part of this Melbourne Football Club. He didn't get any airtime last year. They kept him in cotton wool, but he's a key plank in the rebuild of this club. And, well, he rarely misses. 17-6 for the season now. Still just 20 years of age. So often the man they choose as they look inside 50.
So Buck's done that. Hogan's 16 goals in his first 8 coming in. Travis Cloke had 8 goals in his first 8 matches. Now, we know what a great player he's become. So Hogan's effort from this first 8 matches has been remarkable. What a quarter Howe's having too. I mean, Cloke's been the outstanding player, but Howe's having some sort of a turn for the D's. The one good thing for Melbourne, they're ticking the scoreboard over. They've kicked as many goals so far today as they kicked last year, I reckon, in the same match.
Straight away. Let him up. Let him up. Thanks.
So that's the one thing that's happening for them, but it's an avalanche at the other end. So 4-goal game, 10-goal opening term, gone.
Good pressure.
It's the tackling of Collingwood and Melbourne early, but Collingwood terrific in a ball up.
They've dropped Howe back behind the ball now for the last minute of this quarter.
It's the first time during this quarter too, Maxie, that they've actually dropped that free player back there in front of Cloke.
Seedsman onto it and then controls the kick. Kicks to a space. Cloke and White going for the same ball. White tapping down. Good tackle at the back. Lumumba gets the advantage. Vandenberg. Good kick to Hogan. He likes to come up the ground now. Not a long time to go here. Melbourne don't want to cough anything up, though, but can they create a scoring opportunity? Brayshaw waited. He shouldn't have done that. Varco got to him. And then Brayshaw, who's a good tackler, we know.
He's a good kid too, Brayshaw, but that's the difference between playing... He gets a free kick and good follow-up. That's the difference between playing under-18 football and playing AFL footy.
Just got to make an effort.
He was just so relaxed when he went to the ball. You just don't have that time at this level.
Move it on. Play on. Play on.
So nothing obvious. Lumumba. As I said, he's got 7 teammates in that premiership team playing today. So their best opening quarter for the year, Collingwood. 7 goals in the opening term. And the coach would be happy. Howe kicked a couple, Hogan one. But the big story of the first quarter, Travis Cloke. Big marks and 4 goals. So Collingwood lead on the Queen's birthday. It's 43-19 at quarter time.
League, and the D's are actually 18th, but they've got a lot of guys in there who can win it. Nathan Jones, Vince, Cross, they're all good, hard, contested football winners. So they've just got to clean up that bit first and make Collingwood attack from their half-back line.
Well, a rampage in Collingwood started this Queen's birthday clash so brilliantly, 7-1 to 3-1. The 24-point leaders. Nathan Jones, the skipper, gets set upon early, and that's been really the tone from the Pies since the first bounce. Viney, Garland off the ground, Grundy feeds, hoped for Broomhead, missed him, cross to Watts, who had that awkward moment late in that first term and set things away. Howe, well, he had it, lost it. Pedersen, some space now to Jones, he's within distance. The skipper, long ball, brilliant skipper, they needed that, and they got it through Nathan Jones. So back to 3 goals and the last 2 goals of the game to Melbourne. So Jesse Hogan late in the first term, and now Nathan Jones starts his second term brilliantly. There was a half opportunity in the middle. They worked the ball wide, and Nathan Jones gets it back to 3 goals.
He's certainly working hard. He's had 8 disposals, kicked a goal, but he's had 4 tackles, so he's really leading the way for the Melbourne Football Club in the middle.
Tiny jump, guys. Straight back.
Well, he kicked a goal in the first 30 seconds of the match last year. He kicks a goal at around about that time in the second quarter here. So Melbourne getting that scoreboard ticking over. In the last 2 years, they've kicked 3 goals and 5 in the respective matches. So this is the one good thing at the moment. Vince has had a terrific match. Good kick. Pedersen got involved a moment ago. Has to release, and he does cleverly to Newton. Gorn to that big wingspan. Well played. Could Jones do it again? Looks up, backtracks, doesn't want to give it away. Big Maxie's in the pocket. This will be something. It isn't. 2v boundary throw in, but some signs.
To that big hit in the centre of the ground here. Just watch this. This is Viney with ball in hand. Bang. Down goes Broomhead.
Square.
And it's Viney, who looked like he might have been corked in that, so he's up on his feet now, but he's moving very slowly towards interchange.
That's great courage here. We see Viney coming off here to the end. Great courage by 2 young players. As a senior player, that really sets the tone. Doesn't matter who it is. When you see young guys come in, put their body on the line like both of those players did, it really makes you stand tall as a senior player.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His old man played like that every time he wore a Demons jumper. Crisp, Swan. Now Pedersen, well, how kind is the bounce? pretty cruel in the end. So Brown tries to work his way through, but it comes back into McDonald's hands. Good tackle, poor kick. Swan just got the left hand onto it, threads it through. Chris back inside. Now to Pendlebury. Well, the tackle was on Vandenberg, couldn't get there. Long lead. Well done, Jesse White.
Solo's on if he wants.
And that's where he's gone for Solo. Bouncing ball. Well done, McDonald. Cruel bounce to the Demons in the middle against Pedersen this time. The ball equals things up. Minus score to the Pies, quickly to Watts.
Viney had a cracked shin early in the year, which kept him out for half a dozen, so looks a corky today. Riley, Lumumba, cross. Needs to be careful with the ball. Hogan protected it well. Varco in. There's Viney. So just working on him. Sort of in that area, isn't it? But
yeah, they have been pushing on that right shin area. So I'll keep you updated. But they definitely look at that. Possibly could be a recurrence of the old injury.
Thanks, Welshie. So Watts, Jetta.
That was a really good play there by Collingwood, just to shut that exit player down. Grundy worked really hard out wide.
So Jetta's undecided, decides to run it forward. It's a pretty good kick, actually. Jones tried the half volley. It might work out. Riley's handball's untidy. Brayshaw, well done. Broke the tackle, had a bit of time. Kicks a goal. Melbourne have kicked 5. It's a good start here. Now, sort of we were talking about this in the first term. The one thing they were doing was scoring. Now, said like, I mean, 2 years ago they kicked 5 goals in this match. Last year they kicked 3 for the whole game. Now they're up to 5, and suddenly they're in this match again.
Even though they scored, it was a little bit untidy, and they're the things that will bring them unstuck. If they can't hit those targets, they can't make those handballs stick. At the moment, though, they've got the desire to want to really compete.
Well, Jetta probably got away with it, didn't he?
It was a good play and it was a good goal here, but Travis Varco's got to do better. You can't get stepped like that. He's got to know that he's a left footer and put that tackle on.
He came off his man just a little bit too slowly then too, Maxie.
Well, Jones was asked to do a lot, came off his toe and into the hands of Riley, so they got a little lucky there, the Demons, but they kicked the last 3 of the match and they pushed forward again. Williams, Garlett the tackler, and then into the hands of Frost. Brayshaw, well done, took him to ground. Jeffy Garlett at the fall of the ball. Frost desperate to get involved again.
That's better. They just tied up the Collingwood defence. No rebound for them then. They've got a real appetite now for the contest, haven't they?
Well, after the Seedsman goal, the Pies got out to 30 points. Hogan late in the first. Jones and Brayshaw to start their second.
That's stiff. They're going against, I think it's Pendlebury, or against Grundy for taking out the legs, but he was actually pushed over by Gore. So I don't know what they expect him to do there.
No, he wasn't diving at the ball, was he?
No.
I think that's an incorrect decision.
Well, Jones got the first of this second term for his 5th of the year. He has been a shining light for the Demons in recent years. When it has been all doom and gloom, he has maintained such a high standard. Can he find a way to kick his second? He's struck it pretty well. He struck it beautifully. 4 in a row to the Demons.
Gee, this is a good reply. And whether it was the correct decision or not, it was a great finish, but
He was never known for his finishing, was he?
no.
He's someone who's certainly improved the last few years, and he kicks the goals from everywhere now.
I think he's worked on every component of his game. He's just wanted to be a better player, and he's looked at all the aspects of his game that he might have been lacking, and he's improved them.
In the long history of this club, only 2 men have won the best and first in 3 consecutive years. He's one of them.
Yep.
And the other one's the late, great Jimmy Stein. So he's in rare air. So this has been a terrific reply. Melbourne back in this match within 7 points. Collingwood, though, have been hard to stop once they've got the ball in the forward 50. Blair's kick. Well, McDonald on for Solo suddenly is looking all right. Hogan up the ground. Cloak, if you just joined us, kicked 4 goals in the opening term on Tom McDonald. Back to McDonald. Back to Garland. Archie's back. Kicks the ball down the line. How? Not quite. Went and got rid of Goldsack. That would have hurt. Tuvey's hot handball for Blair. Williams, Blair.
Holding Collingwood back to where it was. Yeah, back to where it was.
Gee, Goldsack, that...
I just want to hem them in this part of the ground too. They've done that, Melbourne.
So Williams, and that kick Frost couldn't quite take the mark. For the first time today, you feel like it was clever. You feel like Collingwood, they're just a little bit on the back foot. Talk about clever. How good was that?
Genius from Pendlebury. Now to Broomhead. Quickly inside. De Goey's got the sit on Cross. Cross front spot. Well done, Daniel Cross.
Stay there.
Quickly to Lumumba. They might just work it to the outer side. Oh, Garlett had so much space. It's going to come undone. Grundy going to feed the handball. Well, he found an old teammate in Lumumba, Tupas. Well, he put Dunn under ridiculous pressure, and Dunn had absolutely nowhere to go. Cloak the tackler. It was instantaneous.
Just one of those instinctive handballs to somebody that's already under pressure. Like, as he gets more experienced, he'll learn that that's the ball you hold on to and you look to another option.
So a 30-point lead, back to 7. Demons the last 4 of the match. Langdon. Kick not as he would have liked. Tupas and Brayshaw, a couple of youngsters involved. Now the long ball. Jeffy's out the back. He'll back himself for speed. Here goes Jeffy. Beep, beep. Here we go. Tuvey, he's on the chase. You don't catch Jeffy. 5 in a row to the Demons. Where has this come from?
He's having a good year, Garland, isn't he? That was exciting. Good stuff, Hayne.
I reckon if you look around the ground now, wherever the ball is, Melbourne are now applying better pressure than what they did in the first quarter. Collingwood aren't escaping the way they did. They're not getting the game on their terms now, Maxim.
And that's sometimes where stats can actually be a bit misleading, because the tackles were 20 to 27 in Melbourne's favour in the first quarter, but they weren't really putting on real pressure.
That's a great kick by a young kid, though, too, isn't it? I mean, he's kicked it to the space. He knows Garlett's got some genuine leg speed. I like your bib hip, too.
Well, he's like the Roadrunner, isn't he? He just disappears in smoke.
Well, momentum, mate. Modern-day footy. Melbourne have got it all. Kicked 5 goals in an 11-minute period. 11 minutes ago, they were 30 points behind. Jed has got the mark.
And the news is getting better for Melbourne as well. Young Viney had a little bit of work done to the right fibula, and he's back out there. A little bit proppy, but he'll be good for the rest of the game. So
Lumumba in the 1-2 with Pedersen. Good kick, Hogan. Just doesn't make mistakes, Hogan. And now they're on here. Now, how? It's a bad kick, actually, from
Well
Hogan.
done, Marley Williams.
And Williams dashed away. So big chance missed. Elliott, good tackle. Melbourne hold it up. They've done well here, the D's. Pendlebury, though, he's like a conductor with a lovely orchestra around him. Varco down the line. Fasolo's good in the air. Lumumba did well. Really well, Haritia. And then slaps it out. Done. Good tackle, Fasolo. Got him. Will be rewarded. Yes. Had to be.
It's great play by Marley Williams down the other end. Then he left his man, came across and impacted the contest.
How many tackles for Solo last week, Max?
6.
Well, that was a good one there. Important.
Got to keep doing it if he wants to stay in this team. He has to do the pressure acts because he does the other stuff well enough.
Top of the square for Solo. Hopeful ball. Thumped away. Now a chance for Brayshaw again. Was involved in the last goal.
Here we go.
Well, it's almost deja vu. Here's Jeffy and Tuvey again. It'll be Jeffy with the pace. Can he just work it forward? Lost his feet. Quickly back. Over the shoulder. Jeffy back to back. 6 in a row to the Demons.
Oh, there's a touch of Yogi Berra and all that. Deja vu all over again.
I reckon they're going to need a sweeper, Maxie. They're going to need a Franz Beckenbauer to sweep at the back, I think.
I was just watching Steele side bottom. He's calling someone back, so I think now, obviously 6 in a row. Usually it's after about 2 or 3 you make a change and send someone behind the ball.
You were the general out there. I mean someone's going to get at the back, I think.
They are, and I see Varco moving back behind him now.
Well, this is nearly as good as the big slide at the start of the match, I reckon. Talk about the big freeze. This is a hot game of footy right now. 6 in a row for the D's. In a hurry. Garlett with a couple. Jones with a couple in this quarter. Pull bounce to Goey. Little give. Grundy. Viney. Back out there. McDonald. Great tackle by De Goey. And now gets it back. Lumumba's had a good couple of minutes there. Aretia. De Goey. Jones.
Won it again.
Garland. Newton has to wait. Seedsman brings him down. Seedsman won the Anzac medal. Both Tim and Maxie will be voting for the Neil Danaher medal today. I reckon Trav had a big hold of it early, but things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, the captain for Melbourne is certainly up there at the moment.
Well, he hasn't seen the ball this quarter, Clyde. That's the difference.
efficient, the Demons, Tim. 5 goals from 7 inside 50 entries. The Pies just the one behind from their 4.
Stay there.
So they have made the most of their opportunities. After 5 goals against them, the Demons, and a 30-point deficit, they lead by 5 points. They've kicked the last 6 of the match, Gull the last 2, and Seedsman spots a man with plenty of space in Oxley.
They left a nice attacking hole there, Collingwood.
What a turnaround it has been in 10 minutes of football. Just remarkable what the Demons have been able to do completely against the flow. Terrific kick in the end when Grundy had time to gather after a little fumble. Langdon goes searching for Swan, who waddles as he does.
Great defence by Melbourne there. They made him go out and around and kept working out to him. So Paul Roos be very happy with that.
Been terrific, Jones. So Gawn, first match for the year, wins the tap. Tumpus, Viney off that little step that he doesn't get it far. Side bottom, good tackle, Vandenberg.
Holding the ball.
It's a terrific tackle.
Just here.
So the little battles, the D's are winning at the moment. Certainly on the scoreboard, it's all changed.
They're winning on the outside now too. 36-18 uncontested ball, so they're actually just running and here we go again.
Jones to Vince. Vince on the wrong side for him, but he gets a good angle and gives Pedersen a chance. Well played, Brown. Pendlebury held up easily.
Parko's out here.
Oxley. So let's see Varco. He can kick a goal on this ground. We know that. Bounces a second. No, only the once. Not a great-looking kick off the boot. Got to a dangerous spot. Ball not marked. It was a difficult one for Broomhead in the pocket. Gets it back, and that came off the boot, and it's out on the fall.
It's Tom McDonald.
So Broomhead in the pocket.
Here, top.
Just handballed it into McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald actually found himself back on Cloak there, but change hasn't been made.
Improves the angle and kicks a goal. So Collingwood back in front.
He's an interesting player, Broomhead. He's a guy who's a first-round draft pick a few years back and had a lot of illness. Really struggled with his body weight because of that. And he's a guy who a lot of talent.
What, body down or up the weight?
On? No, trying to put weight on, he really struggles with it. So as you can see, he's still pretty slight, but he's someone who he's learning how to do the weights.
Does he remind you of Sidebottom, the way he moves and the way he plays?
He does, absolutely. And he's going to start as a forward, but eventually he'll end up going up through the midfield.
So here's the out of the full decision.
No, it came off his knee.
Yeah,
that was wrong.
He's unlucky.
That's an evener upper for the Nathan Jones one up the other end earlier in the quarter.
It was off his boot, but it was after the ball was fully over the line. So knee, then boot. So through that Broomhead goal, the Pies wrestle the lead back. Second lead change of the afternoon as Watt slumps the ball long. How? Well, almost. There's so much expectation every time he goes near the ball. On this side in front of the members, he had a one-on-one, I think, with Goldsack and didn't mark it. There was almost size from the Melbourne members. Just remember, if you'd like to, freezemnd.com, 1.75 million at the moment.
Gawn to Pedersen, brilliantly done to Vince. Oh, that's wonderful stuff. Well, Gawn's he's an interesting footballer, this guy. With his size, he's a problem, and that was just the perfect illustration of what he can do.
I actually thought Spencer had been playing some good footy over the last month as that ruckman, but they obviously rate Gawn, and he's come in and he's doing the job for him early.
Good finish by Vince. Vince having a really good day. Got the 3 Brownlow votes this time last year.
Straight back here. Time you're late, guys. Jump for the footy.
That's a great tap over the back, isn't it? I think that's their 4th goal this quarter from clearances as well. So their stuff around the stoppages is working really well for them this term.
Gawn was brilliant, wasn't he? With all that height and that athletic ability, you would think if he can get his body right and do some of the work that the Demons coaches, including Greg Stafford, are hoping, he seems to have such a bright future. 4 in his first year, then the knee Rico, 13-9, and this is first game of the year for just his 27th in his 5th year. So he's been rarely cited.
This is what Melbourne have to do. They need second and third stoppages. Leading disposal 60-38 this quarter, so they're just dominating with the ball.
Well, Cross on that occasion slapped it wide to Jones, who's been brilliant in this term. Hogan has a few to beat. Oxley read it well, floated in front. Quickly moves it on. Seedsman has a bit of time, not that much time. Jones, the tackler, went back, did well. Oxley, little sidestep, got away from Tumpus. Now to half forward. Well done, McDonald and Code did enough.
He's been really good done this quarter on Cloke. Cloke has still not touched the ball in this second quarter. What they're doing is either Cross or Lumumba are coming in as well and sitting in front of Cloke, making it really hard for him to get onto those free-flowing inside 50s.
Well, Welsh, not only Cloke, Elliott, no touches in this quarter. Both of them have had one.
Yeah, they've really locked them down. As when we spoke to Simon Good, a big focus was they had to close down that easy kicks inside 50. They had 8 marks inside 50 in that first quarter, Collingwood, and so they wanted to really eliminate that.
So big change over the match. Grundy, such a competitor. Side bottom, well done. Swanee off a step. Good kick, actually. Really good kick and a great me. Elliott.
You know, just before that ball arrived, I was asking our director to actually get a shot of the difference in height between the two. Look at this. McDonald goes to the ball, and then the reading of Elliott there. I mean, McDonald's actually playing on Elliott. You'll be thinking any high ball, you've got the right matchup, as Paul Roos was thinking then, but it just floated, and he's got beautiful awareness in the air.
He's actually very stiff because it was a Dane Swan mongrel kick that came out of there.
But it was a danger kick, wasn't it? Goal to Elliott. Collingwood in front. Yeah, Max, you're right, but I liked the kick the minute it left the boot because you knew it was going to be chaos, and it was going to make it hard for the Melbourne defence as much as the Collingwood forward line. And Tim, the height advantage, but Elliott does play so tall. I mean,
he does, but if you're Paul Roos and that ball's coming in, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, we've got a good match up here with Elliott, you know, the ability to be able to actually just kill that ball in the air, and then McDonald lost it in there.
How good a mark is this guy?
Oh, he's one of the best. For his size, he's probably the best mark in the competition.
How difficult is this mark, Maxie?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tom McDonald was stiff because it looked like it was going towards Jesse White, but it just kept floating over the top. And with Jamie Elliott, you've got to try to, just like Howe, keep him away from where the ball's going to drop.
Play on.
So the last 4 goals of the match have seen 4 lead changes.
And again, Oxley, that's the second time he's intercepted the ball. So I think Melbourne now have a decision. Do they let him go back there as that free play, or do they man him up?
Well, before the last 2 entries that he's marked both of them, before that they'd gone in 8 times for 6 goals this quarter.
Goldsack hemmed in, decides to back himself. Elliott, well, in the end, Jetta got up, but to go in, Swan can almost raffle it between themselves. On the outer side, Swan just contemplates. Look at that. He's thought about all the options and thought Fasolo was the best of them. Cloke now leads, doubles back.
He should back himself here. He's got this in him.
They double back a couple of times then, and now it's, you think, within range, Maxi, for Fasolo?
It is, yeah. I don't think he was ever going to pass that hammer.
Pretended a couple of times.
Just where it's marked.
Minor score next to his name only. It was very gettable early this time. He's got the distance, but again, accuracy eludes him.
It'll be interesting to see if Roos at this next centre bounce, whether or not they actually send a bloke forward to pick up Oxley, because that can become a stumbling block for them. And once again, the rebound and their attacking moves started at half-back after that intercept kick.
7-1 set shots for Solo before today. A couple of shots today, both minor scores. One a lot easier than that one. Jetta, Pendlebury's tackle good. Vandenberg, Garland, good sidestep, and then did well actually to keep the ball. Well, no, he didn't in the end. Or did he? No, just out on the fall. It was a floater. Brayshaw kept his eyes on it, but the boundary umpire in a good spot. So Tuvey to put it back to about 50. Cloke, big fly. And Fasolo out on the full, just came off his foot. So it's a Melbourne free kick.
Important 7 minutes now for Melbourne too, because they've worked so hard to get back into this game. They put their nose in front, and now they've just got to be able to maintain that pressure all around the ground, because that's what's got them back into the game.
Yeah, I reckon as a neutral, I'd take 2-point deficit for Melbourne right now at half-time. And have to hang on. Lumumba.
Look at the pressure coming here again from Collingwood.
Vandenberg gets a second crack.
They really like to go. You see him got across there, made up the ground on Vince, laid the spoil, but then also the tackle following up. So he's a big contested ball player.
Big crowd, big occasion, and right now the Pies by 2 points did lead by 30. Demons wrestled the lead back after 6 goals on the bounce. The last 2 to Jeffy Garlett, running inside 50 at pace with Alan Tuvey doing the chasing. So it's been a big response from Melbourne. Gawn, first outing in the seniors this year. Watts ran into a heap of trouble, kept his head, well done. Back to Vandenberg. A couple of one-on-ones out the back. Oxley, the loose man, didn't come his way.
Off that stoppage too, Daniel Cross actually dropped back just in front of Cloak's space. Oxley's playing that free at the other end of the ground. And Cross will actually stay behind the ball at this stoppage as well. Just trying to get his right positioning.
Terrifying spot to be in front of Travis Cloak, but
could
Daniel
be worse.
Cross.
Could be Tony Lockett.
Daniel Cross hasn't taken a backward step in his football career. Grundy, well done. Pressure from the Demons, good. Little fumble from Jetta. Toompas beaten to it by Fasolo. Crisp will work back onto the left boot. Now dangerous times. Cloak, almost. Second opportunity, not quite done. Cross, big tackle from Elliott. Got the handball away. McDonald had support in Lumumba. Threads through a couple of pies still. He had to just work it back. Toompas, nothing forward. Then wide, and they're away again. This time McDonald searches long, couple of one-on-ones.
Once Hogan. Collingwood had good numbers. Oxley's been important. Controls the leg. Good one to side bottom to Swan. And then Swanee quickly caresses Elliott front spot. Ball getting towards the back. Big Maxi. So Gawn pops it up. White's been quietish. So a little fortunate, I think, Fitzpatrick.
He's on in the centre.
Decides to go wide to Vandenberg.
You take that kick in the centre of the ground to Brayshaw, and the whole half of the ground opens up for you.
So Vandenberg's kick. You heard the call from the umpire. Newton has to release, does. Hogan and Varco holds him up. Hogan and Varco. Who's done better so far? Oh, there's a bit on. Varco or Lumumba, they're part of the big trade.
I can't split them. I think between the two of them and Mitch Clark, I think all three of them have had a big impact at their clubs.
Gawn with speed, got front spot. Watts, well done. Jones, Vince is on. Thumping kick of the football, top of the square. Well, front spot, Riley. Langdon out the back, Brown. Pedersen, the tackler, just released the football. Side bottom, really flustered. Did exactly what he wanted to do.
I think back on that, Trav Varco's actually played a lot at half-back. He's had a couple of really big games, but he's allowed them to release guys like Langdon further up the ground. And obviously Lumumba, his experience is something that's been important for the young Melbourne players.
Well, Vince, Toompas didn't really work it out. They should have done better. Blair feeds it back, side bottom. What a beautiful kick he is. He saw Cloak, kept it low, and delivered it perfectly.
So Trav's been up the ground a bit today, hasn't he? First disposal this term. Kicked 4 goals in the opening quarter, and a couple of his pack marks were brilliant. So just on that, Lumumba went to Melbourne from Collingwood. Varco went to Collingwood from Geelong. Mitch Clark went from Melbourne as a retired player away to Geelong, and it was a big move, and Lumumba and Varco have played every game for their respective club. Jones has been superb in this quarter and a boundary throw-in. So Maxi thinks it's about a 50-50 right now.
You sense that all clubs would be happy with their cards.
Correct. Yep. It's a win-win.
It's rare.
Well, you don't want to have a win-win. You want to pull somebody's pants down in this business.
Still one of the great gets is Crisp, the sort of the sweetener in the deal, and he's almost become the sweetest part of the deal. He hasn't missed yet for the Pies. Here's Varco, who Mac was talking about. So with some dash, as always, Seedsman. For solo front spot, full reach, couldn't quite. Pendlebury had a lot to deal with. Jones and Lumumba. Jones has Fasolo and Pendlebury to negotiate.
Giovanni's been good in and around the scrimmages. We know that he copped a really heavy knock, but he's had 7 touches, 8 touches this quarter. 7 of them been contested, so he's work in and around the ball. And that bloke there, Nathan Jones, what a quarter foot he's had too.
Watts.
Watts been good in the last couple of minutes around the ball.
Toompas. Broomhead the tackle, Pendlebury the feed, Chris quickly. Now Elliott, he's going to get support from Cross, Jetta, and he needed it probably because he's a slippery customer, Elliott. He was looking dangerous, but Cross, who's got that responsibility now of just floating and filling in the holes. Well, McDonald had a nightmare moment. Broomhead, little kick away, Elliott, Cross, Watts. They should get away with it. Watts took a long time. Cross Now to Vince, and finally some sanity.
Guys, Vandenberg's been really good for the Demons. Unfortunately, he's limped off the ground and straight down the race, so he looked in a lot of pain. I'll keep you updated on Vandenberg.
Thanks, Welshie. They're going to miss that body strength. Vince under the pump. Melbourne have had a really scary minute here. Broomhead to the pocket. Can Collingwood make them pay? Pendlebury sweeps it wide. Side bottom. Looking for the right angles. Back to Pendlebury. Pendlebury to the top of the square. Good kick. Blair protected the ball well, but Dunn was up for it. Well played, Lyndon Dunn. Needs to release. Does. Gee, did well. Viney in the right spot. He does concede, but Melbourne got out of that. Gee, that minute and a half was frightening. A side bottoms. Blair rather's in a bit of strife as well.
They're just starting to look tired, aren't they, Melbourne? The defenders have had to really defend hard in the last 5 minutes. The ball just keeps coming back at them.
Cross has been important back there, actually. He's
Great
been able
kick.
to hold it. That's a beautiful kick from, was it Oxley?
Yep.
Well, there's the...
Oh, Elliott's, he has pulled down the pants of Lumumba, and, yep, kicked a remarkable goal. Well, he's a gift.
That bloke there now on screen, no one sells more merchandise at the Collingwood Football Club than that bloke there.
By streets.
By a long,
Streets.
long way. The Collingwood faithful absolutely love him.
Well, when your name's Billy Elliott, you've got a chance, haven't you?
A lot of them were filthy because they bought number 19 jumpers, then obviously went to number 5, so they were filthy, they had to swap.
You're very clever at Collingwood.
Buck still thinks they're following him.
Just lack of concentration here.
Yep. Harry looking down on the ground. Elliott just smart, sharp as they come.
He is a highlight, isn't he? For any neutral fan, he's a delight to watch. 4th year, 3rd number. As Maxie said with Tim, he sells a lot of tickets and a lot of merchandise. So Garland steps back inside. Jones, big part of this resurgence. Little fumble. Jetta, he's under pressure here. Jetta lost the football. Vince, Lumumba, they retreat the Demons. They're under enormous pressure. Collingwood's last 5 or 6 minutes have been superb.
And now Bernie Vince is saying, just calm down, just calm down. They can go into this slow methodology of playing. I mean, they all practice it. Now
To the wing they go. Pendlebury, look at him, he just does everything so easily. The pace of the game doesn't slow down, but he looks as though it does for him. Crisp, quickly for Solo. Long ball from right on the 50. That is superb too. Well done, the Pies. They've got the last 3.
Pendlebury's been really important in this last 10 minutes. We said how good Nathan Jones has been, the captain of the Demons, but he's one who's really got him back in. It had 10 disposals for the quarter, but 4 tackles to go with it, so he's doing all the hard things as well.
They're just really tired though now, Melbourne. I mean, that kick down the line shouldn't have gone down the line. It should have then been, they should have been able to set up a player to actually take a mark 15 metres away from Garland, who had control of the ball, and just keep control of the footy. But really, they wanted just to kick it down the line because they're tired.
Because they weren't working for each other because they were tired.
That's right.
Exactly.
The mental part of it really comes into it.
Welshie, I reckon you're raring to go with something.
Yeah, well, Vandenberg, good news for the Demons, has come back out of the race and he looks okay. And Jared Blair, Bruce, you saw him early limping around before. He's come off getting his right ankle restrapped. Looks to be okay. No, not much concerns there, but certainly need to get that ankle restrapped.
And Roosie spoke to you, Welshie, pre-match about second halves and being blown away a bit when they're feeling it right now, aren't they? They look exhausted. And Oxley's swept beautifully, hasn't he?
Another kick. They get time to come and man him up because he's someone who's done really well in the last 15 minutes for the Pies, that extra man.
Those guarded over the back goals were breathtaking, but Collingwood have been able to plug the gap. Pendlebury tried a high one. Pedersen. So now to slow it down. They would have taken this at quarter time, I reckon, a 2-goal deficit. And yet they've been in front for parts of this second quarter. Pedersen's kicked a half forward. And again, Oxley again. So he's been able to intercept.
He reads the play really well and uses the ball well, which is the most important thing in that position.
Langdon, what a fine young player. Out wide. Tuvey on the wrong side for him. Brayshaw, good effort. Tuvey with him. Ball not quite out. Tupa's involved. Ball still not out. Tuvey trying to get it out. To go, he was superb. White, little side step was good. Well done, Tumpa. Second effort. Cross. What a first half of footy we've seen. Highlights, left, right and centre. I mean, Cloak started it, didn't he, with those marks and goals. Swanee kicked one, and then we saw the Melbourne come back with Jones and Garlett, how early, and then Collingwood led by Pendlebury, and Elliott with a couple of lovely little cameos. So fantastic first half. 20 goals in the opening half, and it's set up for what should be a really good second half of footy. Andrew Welsh making his way out there. Paul Seedsman's his target right now. Welshie, I reckon you found your man.
78-77 contested footy in the Pies' favour, but clearances are actually gone Melbourne's way 23-20. So ran the ball, those experienced players of Jones, Vince, really getting on top of the Collingwood midfield.
So can Melbourne keep up? I reckon that's the biggest question here. Collingwood lead by 14 points. Second half starts on the Queen's birthday. Vince, 21st disposal, having some sort of an afternoon. Langdon down low. Williams. Good smother by Tumpus. Well done by Williams, though. And Sidebottom walks it over the line. So 11 goals to Collingwood, 4 of them to Cloak in the first quarter, a couple to Elliott in the second. They're big goal scorers for the year. White hasn't hit the board yet. Garlett a couple, Hogan one, Jones a couple for the D's. Tumpus releases Jones. Howe was good early. Now that's Newton. Jones spirals, gets a fair bit on it. The bounce interesting. Hogan versus Frost. He's going to kick a goal. No, he hasn't, Hogan. It's a behind.
The other one who's had a really good first half is Daniel Cross. He's had 14 possessions. He's tagging Steele Sidebottom, kept him to just 8 possessions. He's averaging 30 over the last 2 weeks.
Well, Goldsack, you can see what he has to contemplate. So often the chosen one with the ball.
Hold there, Ken.
Well, why wouldn't you choose Pendlebury if you had an option?
Thanks, Jack.
Comfortably to Seedsman, and they'd like to be able to run the ball outside of their defensive 50 as easily as that week in, week out. Big fly from Jeddah, killed the ball. Just joined us. Vandenberg out over the halftime break. Matty Jones comes in. Kennedy remains the sub for the Pies. The last 3 goals of the first half, couple to Elliott, for Solo the last. Vince, little fumble from Viney. Seedsman, the tackler. He's a running man, Maxie, but he's prepared to get involved in the heavy stuff too.
He is, and as his body matures a lot more, he's going to be probably that tall winger that's really hard to match up on.
Gawn and Grundy, been a good battle. Seedsman's little give. Pendlebury. Sidebottom. Seedsman. Good handle. Crisp. What a fine young player. White. Good effort, though, at the back from Fitzpatrick. For Solo, just sprayed it under pressure and on the full. So he's had 4 shots at goal for Solo.
Just looking back at that last stoppage too, Jack Watts, who had some important touches in that second quarter of football, just unmanned at that last stoppage too, wasn't able to impact at all, but he's actually really smart around the stoppages, Jack.
He did respond well, didn't he, after a, sort of an awkward opening term for him. That one too tall for Gawn, which says a bit. Swanee, Riley and Grundy, a couple of South Australians, and the ball not coming out and the ball up.
Sometimes you see after like a real half of attacking football that it becomes more of a defensive struggle when coaches have got plenty of time just to reset their players at half-time.
Well, Grundy found Riley, but the Demons have lost possession here. Brown, clever little slap forward, hot for Williams in the end, and they thread it through Matty Jones, who's just come on. Here's Jeffy Garlett. He's going to put it into space and hope for a man as quick as himself. Tuvi's going to get back. He was doing most of the chasing in the second term. On that occasion, he was the man that found the ball and then found Varco through to Williams, and suddenly through the middle, the Pies have got 3. They can raffle it. Langdon, De Goey, Shaw long. That's the option. Out the back, Cloak looks dangerous. Not quite. A little opportunity for Blair. It escaped him. Lumumba back to Fitzpatrick. Now to Dunn. Demons hold firm. Well done. Tumpus on the end of it. Well, wasn't desperate to keep the ball in.
Just watch this with Angus Brayshaw just stumbling there and hurting himself, not just tumbling over. Just keep an eye on him. Woosher will keep an eye on him down on the boundary line, but that was a terrible kick there by Garland when they broke.
Roosie would have been cross with that. He would have liked him to kick it to the pocket, wouldn't he, and roll it out.
Or even just maintain possession of the ball and just hold on to it.
they're going to get few opportunities to give it back like that.
Yeah.
Would frustrate everyone in the coaching box. We saw Paul Roos earlier, desperate. It wasn't a great advertisement, actually, when Jack Watts dropped the ball for the Coaches Association.
Interesting, Trav Cloke doing the ruck work here instead of Jesse White.
Patrick's done a good job on White, hasn't he? And that ball not out, and I think he's in trouble.
Usually Jesse White comes up when Brodie Grundy's having a rest, but they've gone with Cloke instead.
Come right out, guys.
So Swan
Play on. Walks round.
sets it up. Swan, good kick to the top of the square. There is White at the back. Strong mark by Pedersen.
Stay out.
He was the free back there, so he's done his job getting back there and being able to intercept that with a really strong mark under pressure. Oh, look out.
Gee, that's a very ambitious handball to a big guy that was down, and Elliott hooks the ball back. They've got the numbers. Dunn decides not to mark it. Now he has to kill it, and he does.
In the old days, before the new adjudication of protecting the ball, that would have been easy for the Melbourne player to actually shepherd out. But
Oh, sorry, Blair's going to kick a goal. I mean, there's been an awful minute for Melbourne.
You certainly don't want to feel for Lyndon Dunn there, because it happens occasionally to the guy kicking in. It's such a big responsibility, and everyone's looking at you. And if people aren't working for you out there, or you've got some smart players like Jared Blair who are just watching what's going on and just sweating on a mistake. So tough one for Lyndon Dunn. He had a really good second quarter shutting Cloke out of the game. He's just got to make sure, as a leader, he gets back onto it. You can see that he's directing traffic already there.
Time your leg, guys. Jump in the foot.
Well, that's just a miscue with the kick. And I'm sure the Collingwood players won't let him forget that next time he picks up the ball to kick in.
It just shows the pressure that Collingwood are putting on Melbourne all over the ground. That's the 9th goal from a Melbourne turnover.
Thanks, Welshie. They've kicked the last 4, the Pies, and 5 of the last 6. Chance for Hogan. Well, Goldsack went to space. Varco's got the speed and the experience in the end. Is he going to get pulled up here? No.
As well, she said, all Collingwood's goals, or 9 out of 12, have actually come from turnover. Usually it's stoppages. They're #1 in the league for scores from stoppages. So Melbourne are actually looking after that part of the game really well.
So Gawn with that height advantage. Grundy did a good job of it in the end. Went searching for Frost. Langdon just skipped in front. Well done. So to Sidebottom, who has been terrific since coming back from the thumb, which was keeping him out and watching on. Cross, as always, so fearless.
Courageous stuff, that. Just thinking about Jesse Hogan a couple of moments ago when that ball came in. He never, even if he doesn't mark the ball, he never gets outmarked himself. He provides a great contest for a young man.
Doesn't fall over too often,
No.
does he? Cross has been terrific in that defensive role today. You get another great tap by Gawn. Vince again. Howe. Done well, Goldsack. I mean, Howe was brilliant in the opening half. Goldsack's had terrific
He's
second
forward back,
and
hasn't
third
he?
quarter, I think. Frost and Hogan, a real highlight today. Not a lot of fireworks, but it's been a terrific contest when they've both gone for the ball. 2 young men. Frost with a little bit more experience, obviously, than Hogan. Grundy won that tap. Viney getting down and dirty, as he does so well. To another guy that likes to, Brayshaw and Jones. And now Tumas back to Garland. Garland had a bit of time now. He sets it up. How you're nilly coming down. Matt Jones hooking back, bouncing the ball. Has it gone through for a goal? It's at the post. Behind.
You would have backed Howe to mark that.
Yep.
He had a beautiful jump at the ball.
So Langdon to Tuvey. Varco is wide with space. Garlett jumping about the place. They need him to be, again, dangerous on the scoreboard. He's had a wonderful year. Came in today leading the goal scoring. He'll exit it, you would think, doing exactly that. Quickly on. White, a fumble. Got a runner in Seedsman. Inboard, Blair. Kicked a terrific goal moments ago. Lyndon Dunn had a terrible minute or so. The Pies, they made them pay. So the last 4 of the match to Collingwood. The Demons are desperate to get something rolling, but for the moment they've been stifled. They haven't kicked a goal since Vince late in that second. Sweeping ball. Well done, Gawn. Lopes forward. Well, it's not going to work out well for the Demons if they give it up that easily. Back to Langdon. Now the thumping ball. Cloke, he's got a little bit of a space this time. And Cross, well, he's set a big task, Daniel Cross. Cloke, though, too strong. He gave himself a few metres, and this for his 5th.
That's what happens when you turn the ball over when you shouldn't. When your teammates are expecting you to hit the easy target, you turn it over, cross ends up on Cloak instead of having Lyndon done on him, who's done such a good job since quarter time.
Not sure Tumpus should be giving the ball to Gawn when it's Tumpus who's probably got much better skill than Gawn.
Well, Cloak has 4 straight from his 7 kicks this afternoon.
He does have a bit of right and left bend, Hammer.
Okay, 4 in a row so far to the Pies. Sounds like 5 in a row. Trav's got 5. Maxi's called it perfectly.
He's a guy when he's having a shot at goal, he does get a little bit of right to left when he kicks them. So that pocket, you'd think for a left footer quite often it isn't a good one, but for him quite often it is. And I think Buddy Franklin's a little bit similar.
It was a good call, and he's got 5 straight now. He's got a PB of 7-2. Just wonder what he's got left in this second half. He looks confident in the air, and at 5 straight, he's going as well as he has for a long time with the boot.
We know he's a confidence player. If he kicks the first couple well, for me with Trav, it's always if his eyes are down at his foot, dropping the ball, that's when he kicks well.
Sounds so simple, Maxie, eh?
Yeah.
To go, he gets it from Swan. They've kicked the last 5. Collingwood. Cloak has 5 for the match. McDonald, Fitzpatrick, Vince and Garland all getting involved. Viney, they need a goal, the D's. Hogan, back to Viney. Well played to Garland. Good release by Garland. McDonald, Jones has to release quickly. He does. Brayshaw, this will be some sort of a goal. He's missed it. He was always going to miss. And the moment hit the boot, but gee, it was a good setup in tight quarters all the way down the corridor, wasn't it?
And from halfback too.
That'll come from a young player like Brayshaw. We know he's got the quality, so he'll end up finishing as he gets a bit more experience.
Well done. What a response.
Great mark.
Terrific stuff from Gus Brayshaw. So a miss a moment ago. Now he just needs to find a goal kicker inside 50. A lead by 4 goals, the Pies. Well, Pedersen was chosen, but couldn't quite complete it. Watts had a little half chance. Matt Jones back to Riley, retreating the Demons, keeping hold of the football. Who's there? Fitzpatrick's got the height.
It was a great kick by the kid. Again, he put it on his head. He knew that there was a size difference on his left leg. And he's probably a little bit tired. He's had 3 big efforts in the space of a minute. But this is a really good kick on his non-preferred side. He just set it on the head there of Pendlebury. And Fitzpatrick did the rest.
Now bring it in.
They've got to take these chances.
He's got 1 goal for the season from his 2 outings. This would be dearly loved. Well done. Never in danger. Fitzy, he kicks the one they needed. Back to 3 goals.
Hammer, they might be playing him at the wrong end of the ground. Hey?
I was speaking to Greg Stafford after the big freeze, talking about the big men. I said, what's going on? You gave Jamar 5, you gave Spencer 4, and you know, Maxi Gorm comes in. What about Fitz in the ruck? He goes, he's too good at either end, and we're working out where he's best. So your question, I think, is being deliberated on by the coaching staff.
He has kept Jesse White to just 6 possessions and goalless, so he's doing a really good job down there.
That young fellow with the glasses is Mac Horton, the gun 1,500-metre swimmer for Australia. Grant Hackett type swims, and the Australian team off to the World Swimming Championships in Russia next month. Mac's going to be a big part of that. He's a Demon supporter. He would have liked that.
Nothing better than kicking a goal as a defender, Bruce. You run back to Grant, high-five everyone you can.
And I reckon it says a lot about his temperament, the fact that he kicked the goal. He's a guy that I reckon will end up playing 150 games for Melbourne. He's got something, Fitzpatrick.
He's got great athleticism for his size too.
Hammer said they were just working out the right spot for him, but there is a spot for him. That's important. Watts. Well, I reckon's done pretty well after a shaky start. Tumpus went to ground. Williams held up. They might make them pay here. So after Collingwood have kicked 5 consecutive goals, Melbourne get 1 back, and they're still reasonably close on that scoreboard. 13 goals to 10.
They like to go out and around here, the Pies.
Move it on.
To go in. And that one too wide, I think, and it is, and Vince to bring it back in.
That's why you go out and around.
Thanks, Scott.
Not that wide, Max.
Playing some good footy for Melbourne, Vince. Best and fairest in Adelaide. It was a big move when he came over. A lot of fans were disappointed. He was a favourite back where I live. And he hugs the line as well. He wants the Howe fly. Gee, well released to Brayshaw, to full forward. Gawn's a big guy. Well done, Williams, and well done, Brown, to hold up.
He's Tumpas's man now. He shouldn't be allowing him into that contest.
Well, Varco quickly releases Brown. Wide to Langdon, then back bouncing ball for Williams, and a closing Brayshaw. Garlett lurking too. Langdon's got to be quick. Now Grundy leads Fitzpatrick to the ball. Well done, Fitzpatrick.
It's great pressure by Garlett, though. He's had about 6 efforts then, running across, making sure he put pressure on the Collingwood defenders and forced the long kick down the line.
Hold the meter.
Well, Grundy at the moment doesn't have a big man next to him, so Pedersen comes in, helps out. Little one forward, Viney. Couldn't quite. Jones, Langdon, Broomhead, and then hurriedly Pedersen. A long wait in the end. Brayshaw, Oxley, boundary line, the victor.
He is their second ruck today. Sorry, Pedersen is their second ruck.
Yes. He's going to be some player, Brayshaw, isn't he? Just even that, one-on-one contest against Oxley there, he was able to hold his own like a first-year kid.
Well, he's taken third in the pick. You'd want him to be good, and he is. Vince after Tumpers to full forward. Hogan went early. Varco. Watts, good tackle. Free kick to Watts. This is big. This is a big moment.
Straight up. Let it go. Trav, let it go.
This is the biggest kick he's going to have this year, Watts.
So that's for just dropping the ball in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And this is just massive for this young guy's confidence. He's built his game today. He's up to 14. Well, see those disposals, 11. 7 contested. Massive right now.
He had that awkward moment in the first or second quarter when he should have taken a mark about 10 metres out from goal. So really important that he finishes here and get the momentum back for Melbourne.
Nailed it. A moment for him, eh?
You see the Melbourne players getting to him and how important it is. They know the pressure that he's been under his whole career, so great to see all his teammates getting around him.
Yeah, that was big, I reckon.
Yep.
You can't underestimate what that might mean. Just for the faithful, for him, for the coach, the relationships.
And Collingwood were out then too. Had he not been able to tie Varco up then, they had players moving to attacking parts of their back line, and they were going to rebound right up Melbourne's throat then. Look at the accuracy too. 11-4 to 13.
And look at the scoreboard. I mean, there's not much in this match.
Back to a 2-goal ball game. Jack Watts kicks his 5th of the year. And what a relief it would be for him and the delight of the Demons fans. So a 2-goal ball game, and after 5 in a row to the Pies, the Demons have got the last 2. A chance here to do some more damage. Brayshaw back onto that left boot. Inside 50. Watts. How? Yep.
Brayshaw's been really important this third quarter. That's his 6th disposal. 3 inside 50s.
That's it there.
It's gone on to the left a couple of times. Very, very importantly, hasn't he? Look.
Well, we know he rolled over. Maybe he did hurt his knee. Maybe he can't put that same pressure on his right leg when he kicks.
Was speaking with Shifter Sheehan pre-season. He said in general play he prefers his left. Set shots he likes his right. It's quite an odd quirk, but that is him. Howe for 3 in a row to the Demons. Game on. Howe's got 3. The Demons have got 3 in a row. And again, when you thought all the momentum was with black and white, the Demons respond against the flow.
Tell you what, there's a lot of blokes that want that Neil Danaher trophy. I reckon there's 5 or 6 players that have had big matches, haven't there? I mean, Howe's in the frame. There's a lot of them.
Vincent Jones, the 2
Yeah.
in the midfield.
In the centre again, that last centre bounce. It was a grubby kick from Vince, but it got the ball moving.
He's been a terrific target up there, Jeremy Howe. 2 goals in the first quarter, a third there. Give him a real focal point up forward. Collingwood obviously feel that Melbourne are starting to get a run on here, so they've activated their sub. Benny Kennedy has come on to try and provide some run. And interesting, Seedsman has been subbed off for the game.
Jones out of the centre, Vince again. 2 guys that have been so important today. Melbourne coming with a bit of a rush. Viney hurled up. Garlick, little handball down low. Back to Jeffrey. Now he's got to work his way through this, and he does brilliantly to Vince.
In good hands too. You know what Vince has done really well, Bernie, is he's done that just a grubby kick. I reckon the emphasis has been, since probably quarter time, get the ball moving forward. We're trying to handball our way out of too much trouble here. If you get the opportunity, you're facing goals at that particular part of the game when you're setting up, you're facing even numbers. Get the ball in there quickly. Let the numbers do the job.
Got the 3 Brownlow votes this time last year. This to level the scores. 28th disposal. Hammering it home. We're all square here. The big freeze are really burning here at the G. 2 to Vince. Well, I reckon he might have gone to the lead of the Neil Danaher right now. He's got some opposition, but what a game of footy this has been.
And I wonder, we saw this in the second quarter, Maxie. They put the extra player behind the ball. I wonder whether or not they do that. It works so well for them. I wonder whether or not they go back to that tactic now, Collingwood.
They have. Bernie Vince kicks his second goal. He's been outstanding with 28 disposals, but it's the clearances where Melbourne are really on top. 11-4, contested possession 28-17, so they're beating the Pies up around the ball.
Well, after the Pies kicked 5 in a row late in the first, it was then the Demons 6 in a row, 5 in a row, and now 4 in a row to the Demons. Fitzpatrick had it, lost it. Little give, clever, done. He's got to be quick. He got rid of it. McDonald thumps the ball long. Jones in front of Langdon. Well, Jones lost his feet. Langdon kept his. Quickly, steal side bottom, back to Langdon, thumps it forward. Pendlebury, front spot. So often, right place, right time. Not easy to do that. Umpire will bring him back.
And the Pies have thrown Adam Moxley back behind the ball as that extra man. It worked for them in the second quarter, so we'll see if it continues to work.
Yeah, just there.
This is on his limit. I don't know if he's got it in him, Pendles.
Does he try the goal or not, Max? You know the temperament better than me. Does he go for the goal as the skipper now, or does he put it at the top of the square?
I think he'll go for a 3-quarter kick to the top of the square.
There's his numbers for the year. 6-2 from set shots this year. It's just going to fall short. Gaunt had it, lost it. Well, tunnel ball. Well, disastrous stuff from Fitzpatrick.
That's incredible.
Why didn't they kill the ball on the line, though? They all got up, the Melbourne defenders.
There's a bit of tunnel ball from Fitzpatrick.
Well, he's got 3 now, Blair, and the Pies are back in front. Just a little composure is all you need, Tim, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, that's what. That's a throw. Just watch it. I mean, that one should have been killed anyway, really. That should have gone over the line there from Fitzpatrick.
And it was the Collingwood leaders again. They sensed that Melbourne were back in the game. Swan was the one who won the centre clearance, and then Pendlebury put it to the top of the square.
It's a rookie error, and I mean, it's just silly stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a rookie. He's been around a bit longer than that, but...
they're costly errors, aren't they?
Well, Blair's been the beneficiary of a couple of really big mistakes in this quarter. One kick in from Dunn and that one. So he's kicked 3 now, Blair. Is Oxley still back, Tim?
He is, yeah. No, they've got that spare back there too now behind the ball again, Collingwood.
So back to a Collingwood lead. Been a wonderful game. Vince has hurt himself, really hurt himself in his 29th disposal. Swan to full forward. White hasn't been able to. Fitzpatrick did a good job, as he's done for most of the day. McDonald had a terrible start to the day, but he's kept going. Viney just kept his eyes on the ball. Not easy to do. Swan to put the pressure on him. Viney, well played. Very well played to Jones. To Newton. Has to release. Not a great kick. Big moment here for the D's. Can they stand up? The ball's going to be hot for a minute. Lumumba, good give Jones. To Jones again. Great tackle. Varco. Collingwood hustling and bustling. Varco misses side bottom. Back to Williams. Williams off a step or two. Caresses the ball. Jetta cuts across. Takes a good mark.
He's done that a few times, Jetta. Left his man. He's done very well.
Well, this is where Melbourne are going to be tested more than they have all day. They're in with a winning chance just before 3-quarter time. Collingwood are going to turn the heat up now.
This is smart, though, just to take it out the outside. They've got numbers down there if they go quickly now.
Well, the long ball is on, Tim, isn't it? There's two Demons all on their lonesome. Tumpus is one of those near neither were chosen. Garland on the outer side. Just a moment or two ago, the 50-50 contest, the brutality of the game, the pinballing ball, and no one flinching. Great contest, big crowd, big day. 5 minutes before the last change, and the Pies lead by just 6 points. They led by 30 late in the first, and then 6 in a row to the Demons. They led by 25 early in this term after the Cloak goal, then 4 in a row to the Demons. The late one to Blair got them back in front after it was a level ball game. So Goldsack thumps the ball long down the line. Grundy's got the height. Well done out the back. Garland, little one to Jetta. He was clean. Watts just got in a road for the moment. Tumpus, clever little paddle. Brayshaw, hurried kick.
Oxley.
Over the head.
Well done by Frost,
man.
just holding out his opponent.
What do you do here if you're Roosie with Oxley, guys?
Oh, I think you man him up. It means that you don't have the spirit at the other end of the ground, but we saw in that second quarter it was he that actually positioned himself so well. It stopped all their attacking moves, and then it became part of their counter-attack as well.
And this was the moment in the second quarter where Melbourne ran out of puck, wasn't it?
Yep.
Where Collingwood were able to put those 3 goals on before half-time. Brown, just been careful here, the Pies.
Been pretty taxing for Collingwood too, the way this quarter's gone.
Swan protected it well. He's played well, Swanee. He hasn't been dominant, but he's played well. He had a huge second half last week. Down the line, Cloak 5 goals. Well done, Cloak. Really well done. Whacked the ball away. Fitzpatrick, for most of the day, has been superb. Watts, Jones, Lumumba. Important kick here. Straightens the body, goes wide. It's okay. Garland. Turnovers will be crucial here, one way or the other. Jetta has Watts very short if he wants him.
He should take him there too.
And there's no danger in the Watts kick, was there? Goes to Fitzpatrick. They're trying to get the angles. See how they work it here. Not a good kick because he's wasted some time. Viney at least a left footer. Right side for him. Straightens the ball up. Where's the fly? Guarded almost. Langdon Search did so well. Elliott in the back half, lovely kick to Fasolo. Look at Elliott run on.
Well, he's on now, Elliott. He can go long to Cloak too. He's got a one-on-one with Dunn, and Blair gets into a dangerous position, but just held up for the moment, Elliott.
McDonald's back there too.
Elliott, a part of those late goals in the second term. He kicked 2 in a row before Fasolo kicked the last. Back inside, Williams.
Gawn's got to position himself a little bit deeper here.
1 metre. Play on. Girls.
Well, happy to retreat now to the outer side. Well, through the middle. Tuvey now swings it. The run is on. Goldsack, not a perfect ball, but plenty of time to recover. Corralled, Matt Jones, start as a sub, holds him up for the moment, now thumps it long. All Demons, they need to talk, they didn't. 2 hit the deck for Solo, kept his feet to Goey. The let off for the Demons.
You called it beautifully. There was 3 Melbourne players who could have raffled the ball between them. In the end, watch this, Garland, Gawn, and is that McDonald that went up in front of them?
Yep.
I mean, that's where you've just got to maintain possession of the ball there, mark it, and then mount an attack.
So Dunn gets it outside the 50. So what have we got? A couple of minutes remaining in this, or less than that. Let's have a look. 2 minutes remaining basically in this. I just had to go for the glasses, Tim. It's 1:53 to be exact, as you can see at home.
We can make that bigger for you if you like.
So Collingwood by a goal. Swan. Vince into the 30s. Jones will probably be joining him. Cross. Tumpus off a step. It's a good kick, actually. Gee, Frost did well, really well. He got rid of Hogan early. He's probably won the duel, Frost, hasn't he? Back to Goldsack. Goldsack to wind it up wide.
Langdon's got to hope for a bounce. He's going to be joined in a moment by Matty Jones, who's got a bit of toe. Langdon keeps his head. Jones keeps his feet. Well done, Langdon. Got there in the end. Good contest between a couple of youngsters.
The boundary line is a defender's best friend. That's the only thing he needed to do, but he knew that he had to disguise it on the way there. But he got the desired result.
Just on a minute before the last break. White out of the contest, quickly forward, will only just be 15. Cross had to wait a long time, and Pendlebury made him earn it.
Good body work there by Jetta too.
Well, can they level it up before three-quarter time, or can the Pies find another and just ease it out to 12 points? Remarkable game of football with so many ebbs and flows. Early it looked like it was going to be
Peterson has to come up here.
a Collingwood afternoon. Here's Pedersen. Forces the contest. Finally had Jones and just fumbled. Blair quickly on. White now the long ball. One-on-one contest. Dunn has to wait. Gives a free kick away. And with 30 seconds left, Cloak's lining up for number 6.
No, you held his arm first.
It's always hard when you get into a wrestle with a big fella like that. I tend to like to push him under a little bit and give him a bit of space so that he's actually feeling for you. I think if Trav knows where you are, then obviously it's a lot easier for him to try and take the mark. And to me, that's not a free kick at all.
Honestly, if you're going to give Trav free kicks for that, he's probably going to get 15 a game.
Well, looks good. It sounds good. It's brilliant. He's got 6. 4 in the first term, and he's got a couple in the third. And they just eased themselves out to 2 goals after it was level not so long ago. The Fitzpatrick tunnel ball and the Dunn free kick, they're the last 2 goals for Collingwood.
Where the umpire was, all he could see was Dunn's left arm over Trav's left arm. So, look, you sort of forgive the umpire for it, but I don't like seeing them give him because both guys are wrestling and Trav actually was holding Dunn's right arm.
Viney's mistake at centre wing was the one that really gave Collingwood the chance. He doesn't make many, but he did. So he equals his best here against the D's. Cloak second with 6 goals and his second best ever.
Can I just give you a number? $2.157 million.
Are you serious?
Done.
That's the big freeze. 2.157 was it?
I just got a note from Pat Cunningham, who is behind it with Neil Danaher.
That's magnificent.
And he smiled as he wrote the number.
That is
an
unbelievable.
Extraordinary response.
And you've got to remind yourself that when this started, Neil was thinking maybe 250, 300.
So a match that's lived up to it too, isn't it? We're chatting with Neil Danaher at three-quarter time. So what a quarter of footy. Melbourne came back hard, but Collingwood, as they did in that second quarter, got the late goals. And at three-quarter time, it's perfectly poised. Collingwood by 2 goals over Melbourne. The big freeze on the Queen's birthday here at the G.
Again in an area by their captain, Nathan Jones, 8 for the match. That's the same as Pendlebury and Swan combined. So he continues to step up to the plate, Nathan Jones, and he's getting able assistance from his ruckman in Gawn.
So the last chapter to be written on Queen's birthday. Level not so long ago. Blair and Cloak late goals. Pies by 2 goals.
Tackle! Jack, straight to him.
He's tough, Ben Kennedy. He'll always go in head first. Has a crack.
Well, Kennedy just laced the ball out in front of the skipper. Vince, who's been brilliant, going with him for the moment. Well, as he deliberately brought it over the line, umpire says not. Back to the free kick in the middle. Watts and Kennedy.
He did everything he could to avoid it, Jack Watts. I tell you what, Scott Pendlebury would be the man if I was Paul Roos. But have the hardest tag in history on him because last quarters are when he steps up when the game's in the balance.
Well, he and Swan and Elliott last week. Elliott had it, lost it. Kennedy, little give. De Goey, Brown. Hurried ball. A long wait in the end. Oh, Chris waited a long time, did it beautifully.
Right there.
A Melbourne player just had to go. I mean, Jones had to make up his mind early to go for that ball.
We saw Sunday last. He's a prodigious kick, but happy just to go to the top of the square. Cloak just frees himself from McDonald. First crack, Broomhead. Little one bouncing ball. Gawn was there as a goalkeeper just in case. 13 points the margin.
If Melbourne can absorb this first 4 or 5 minutes, you feel like there's a counter punch here, don't you? Just got to make sure they stay close enough. Decision making so important for the D's. So down the line. Pedersen didn't really get a run at it. Oxley's been very good. Grundy hugging the line and out of play.
It's an important quarter for both clubs here. Clearly the Collingwood Football Club for their finals aspirations, but I mean Melbourne, they've come here, they've put in a really good effort, but it's not going to mean as much if they don't get the 4 points.
They haven't won on this day since 2007. What better way to make a statement than here today? Newton Jones. Viney, heavy traffic. Cross, some good Melbourne players in heavy traffic right now. Cross has been superb. Tumpa's good mark.
Strong hands.
Watts, can he play a big last quarter? He kicked a significant goal. That's a beautiful kick down the line. Pedersen looks up. Probing kick to full forward. Howe front spot. Frost picked it away.
Well done by Frost. Nathan Brown came off his man at the wrong time and left Pedersen by himself, but Frost left his man to get across and impact.
He must be quick, Frost, because he makes up a lot of distance to be able to affect a spoil in a situation like that. That was just great play from him.
So the Demons pressing. Grundy, just a little bit of a error allowed Jones to come in. Side bottom. Gawn's got him. Never big numbers, Maxie. Jack Frost, 6s and 7s and 8s, but always does a terrific job.
He's important.
Watts won it in the air. Side bottom. Had it spent. And now Tuvey provides the assistance.
Cross still kept side bottom, just at 12 touches so far, so huge impact, Daniel Cross.
Side bottom, since returning, has really been impressive. 32 and 31 in the last couple of weeks. Seamless transition back to this senior level. Riley fed the ball, Vince. Now who's at the full of the ball for the Demons? Oxley, well again, he just had too much time and not enough pressure.
He's played such an important role, hasn't he? He's been significant, Oxley.
Oh, he's been fantastic when he's played that role back there, but it just has to come to ground. I mean, there has to be a contest when the ball stays in the air as long as it did just then. Melbourne, somebody just has to make sure they get a hand in there.
Frost to goal. That good Mark Pedersen running back.
Surely in the coach's box for Melbourne, they're having a conversation about manning up Oxley because he's just been too damaging down there in that position.
So Pedersen. Oh, there you go again with a Collingwood mark in the back half. So that was Brown. Frost doing a good job though, just getting involved. So Brown, Oxley sweeping, Varco hugging the line.
2 metres.
Crisp off a step. Varco ran hard. Lumumba, they're the two that win the trade that we talked about. So Varco between half-back and centre wing.
It looked like he was sizing up a long ball, then at the last minute, short ball to Grundy gives Varco the thumbs up.
Move it on. Play on.
You sense the Demons need to be the kicker of the next if they're going to work themselves in front and win this match. Jones in trouble, out of trouble. Watts was the man that provided the opportunity. Now Watts through the middle. Matt Jones this time threads it back inside. Chance for Viney. Starts to run. Brayshaw's going to run into trouble. Got rid of it.
It's a great decision by Trav Varco to come up and put pressure on. Just got to be smarter with it.
Well, Brayshaw ran himself into trouble, went off the mark. Umpire called him to play on Blair.
Collingwood. Just here.
Well, Jetta in his back.
No. Just there.
Well, you heard all of that. So Blair, who's been damaging, and he's been an opportunist this afternoon, and as he always is, dumps the ball long this time. Watts not desperate enough. Cloak went searching, wanted to go. He Watts this time. Hands and knees, wants to get rid of it. Can't, almost. Now he does. Jones to Riley, retreating. Now to Dunn, in trouble, undecided. Long ball, lots of pies. Tumpus will fly out the back. Tuvey, Varco, normally a good user. Well, this time missed his target. Viney had it, lost it, got it again, gave it back. Now Kennedy on the left, his favoured ball. Floating ball, minus score. 14 points the margin.
This is all good, I reckon, for Melbourne away because Collingwood are having repeat 50s and they haven't been able to get the goal. So they're still in this match. Tumpus shouldn't have flied a moment ago. I mean, it was a big mistake.
Can't let the ball out the back.
Their decision-making will be the key. Younger bodies, well, I say younger bodies, Collingwood are a young side too, so you'd have to double-check that one. But you feel like Collingwood have got slightly more run in their legs than Melbourne. A boundary throw-in. That Watts kick 2 minutes ago really opened it up for them. They're going to have to do that occasionally, aren't they?
And he's capable of taking that kick.
It really gave them a chance to cut the line. Gawn and Grundy. Grundy's been very good. So has Gawn at times. Side bottom belting forward. Well done there by McDonald. Broomhead's pretty quick. And a boundary throw in. So most of this quarter in Collingwood's forward 50.
Strange one up the other end, Bruce. Haritia Lamumba's actually gone forward. I don't think he knows where the forward line is. So. Tommy Langdon playing on the 2 number 8s.
Did he go forward, though, to pick up the free? Is that the way that...
Oxley's still there.
So keep an eye on that one. So Fitzpatrick, White, cross. It's been good cross. And a bit of a stalemate just to the moment. That arm wrestle we're having.
They're real trouble now. Melbourne has been able to move it from a static position and actually get some flow in their play and try and break through these Collingwood defences now, because now they've built a wall behind the play, Collingwood. And they've got a lot of numbers forward too at this stoppage.
White and Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick won the football. Pendlebury saw where it was going to go quickly on the left inside. Fitzpatrick got a fair bit of it, not enough. Little give, side bottom, over the top again. Kennedy, Pendlebury. Now to side bottom again. Tumbling ball. Nothing easy. Blair, Crumming, not clean. Quick kick, Garland. Tuvey wrapped up, got it away. Williams threads it. Pendlebury gave it back. Brown. Well, side bottom thinks quickly, doesn't he? Onto the boot to Goldsack. Again, trying to work it through. Side bottom retreats.
Oxley played a brilliant sweeping roll. Long to half forward. For Solo. No, he had the big fly. Jetta. Garlett's quick, we know that. Can he break a line? Hogan running for him. Held up Garlett. Poor kick. Really bad effort, that one. Blair on the up. Crisp, a lefty. So that one close to the line. Poor handball. Hogan. Blair down low. Blair did well. For Solo. Sidestep. Jetta holds him up. For Solo's into his back. Free kick, Jetta. It's a knife edge, this one. If Melbourne gets the first goal, it's a 50-50 ball game.
Stay there. Thank you.
Collingwood are not dashing away from them, are they? They've had some chances. It's a good kick. Riley. Jones. Howe from the side. Lumumba. Over the back. White goes to ground. And
oh, free kick for Howe. For diving in on the ball and taking his legs.
Similar to earlier that, Maxie, you were disappointed with as a call.
I've seen that one a little bit more,
it is really difficult when you're calling, didn't
he? Actually dived at the ball.
Yeah, I understand. I think in the interpretation of the rule, that's one, isn't it?
Yep, I think Howe knew what was going on, so he sort of threw himself forward. Made sure the umpire was aware of it.
So he's kicked 3, Howe.
How big is this kick now?
Massive. You feel if Melbourne get this, they're a 50-50 chance of winning the game. Just because of the way it's been played today. It's a disappointing finish there from a guy that's played so well today.
Thanks, Jeff.
Are we all happy with that interpretation of that rule?
Yeah, yep. That's why it was brought in, so that you can take the knees out.
Frost hugging the boundary with that kick. Big fly at the back. Chris. Well, a few hands on it before him. Umpire happy to pay the mark. So Pendlebury finds a man that can just continue to run if he chooses to do so. Nathan Brown. Williams gives a little bit of shelter. Cooper's just pushed off the ball. Williams will end up with it. Brayshaw, he applies the pressure. Back it comes. Brown floating sort of a ball. Tough for Cross. Elliott, not quite. Vince, back to Cross. Now to Viney. They need to be cool here in the crisis, Melbourne. Viney was thumping the ball. Now suddenly they're out here, the Demons. They've got space and they've got some pace through Jones. In the end, Howe stopped running. He's out of gas. Howe back through default, really. Now, well, it was a terrific kick, disappointing grab. It's turned over. What was looking so promising for Melbourne comes unstuck. Williams to Pendlebury.
And then Pendlebury on the burst, kicks to half forward. Elliott and Watts, well played Watts. McDonald. McDonald to centre wing. Again the contest, Matt Jones brought down by a couple. And it'll be a baller.
The one by Nathan Brown where he was carrying the ball on the wing, it was actually because Dunn was out in front of Travis Cloke, so Cloke couldn't get past him. So smart play by Dunn.
He's done well. Had that moment done, and Cloke's got his 6, but he had 4 to quarter time on another guy, didn't he? Brayshaw's quick kick to half forward. Tuvey, Williams, Swan, Varco. Neat looking kick. They get at the back. Grundy. Good mark. He can use Cloke if he wants to.
Back behind it.
Cross is back there, so they're going to have to be smart with the ball use.
Swanee running hard, pumping those legs, playing on. This is Swanee territory. Oh, didn't quite bring it back.
Yeah. The one thing Riley couldn't do then was overplay that situation, and that's exactly what he do. I mean, he put everything into trying to spoil Swan, but as soon as he went to ground, Swan had one thing in mind, and that was his eyes lit up with the opportunity to score what was going to be a fairly simple running goal.
High, Collingwood. High.
We've got to come up here on Cloke.
Time up. Stay out, Angus.
A cross on Cloke now.
Mate.
Well, Grundy's kick, the big man was perfect to Fasolo.
Play on.
Quickly on, another beautiful delivery, hits the chest of Billy.
Jimmy Tompkins, I know he's a young player, but he was looking at Fasolo. Then he was 10 metres away. He was the closest player. There was space all around him. He looked at him 3 times. He had 5 seconds to go and man him up and failed to do so. You can't have that going on in your forward line. Look at him all by himself.
There's the first one, Maxie. There's Fasolo on his own.
Tompkins was just off Fasolo and he just didn't go across and man him up, and he had to. He was the closest man.
Elliott, he's been outstanding in the last couple of weeks. 5 and 5 and 2 becomes 3. He's a pint-sized package of brilliance, Billy, and they're out again to 20 points. He doesn't take long to heat up, does he, Maxie?
And doesn't need many opportunities either, because he's always involved in the game with his high pressure. Kick the ball up long and he's danger in the air. And then on the ground, we know he can get front and square and be really dangerous, and very accurate kick for goal, so he doesn't miss many.
He came in with 21-8. He's now got 24-8 for the season, and so many of them at crucial times.
Terrific goal here by Jamie Elliott. We saw the turnover there. That has been costly for Melbourne today. That's the 13th goal that they've conceded from turnovers. So just 3 themselves. Fasolo, and then also Elliott on the end of a couple of turnovers.
Grundy's having a big second half, and White takes the mark. And Collingwood now in a great position. I'm glad I'm not voting for the Neil Danaher Trophy today, the 3-2-1s. I mean, there have been so many outstanding players. White's had a quieter day. Grundy's got better and stronger as the match has gone on.
And he's still only 21 years old. He's a kid who you expect ruckman to get better by sort of 26, 27, but he's a guy who's playing a lot of games now, and between he and Witts, the Collingwood ruck stocks look really good for the future.
Well, this will make life very difficult for the D's. It's coming and coming. And just missing. So
Thanks, Trav.
Collingwood with a handy break.
So the D's suddenly need to find 4 goals. The time is there if they're good enough, but the Pies are playing really good football, and they keep the D's at bay. Oxley's been damaging. He's been floating throughout and reading the play beautifully. He's having some sort of a season. Hasn't missed this year. Through the middle they come.
3 metres, Colin. Thank you.
So De Goey, who was the first pick of the Pies in the draft last year, part of the Beams deal, which ended up with Crisp, has been terrific. Back to Langdon and now Williams. And after the Howe miss moments ago on the Elliott goal, the game has really swung. Elliott crashes through the pack. Blair left it behind. Side bottom. Swan dances about and then thumps the ball long. Broomhead, Fitzpatrick. Well, Broomhead didn't have the height, but had the now. Stayed put. Got hold of the football. Brayshaw got hold of him.
Seen a couple of brave efforts this weekend from Melbourne and from Carlton on Saturday. Both team supporters will be very happy with the way they've attacked the contest.
Collingwood such a strong second half team all year. Swan, Blair, Kennedy, the sub, came in for Witts today. He had a couple of just little niggles. For 4-4, Cloak nearly. Yes, Cloak's going to kick a 7. Equals his career high. Ices it on the big freeze, eh? Well, I'm not voting for the Neil Danaher, but I reckon he's going to be very hard to beat.
You'd think you'd have a few votes along the way, wouldn't you?
I think 7's a magic number for a forward, don't you? You kick 7, you get the 3 Brownlows. We did a little exercise with Buddy the other day about when you get 7, you get the 3 Brownlows.
If you kick 7 that many times, you know you get the 3 votes.
What a day he's had, Maxie, the big fella, eh?
A big contest there. I mean, there's not much more Dunn can do. He obviously lost the ball once the spoil was made, but Trav Cloak, he's been sensational. Started in the first quarter with 4 goals.
11 kicks, 7 straight. So the Pies out to 27 points. Goldsack knocked it down. Chris quickly. Swan, so clever. Happy to go back, to go forward. And Oxley, he has seen so much of the football. 27th touch. Now into really good hands in Pendlebury. This will be his 27th as well. I've asked you this before, Maxie, but Scotty Pendlebury isn't fast, other than thinking.
He's not, no. Yeah, certainly thinks fast, but he was always pretty keen to try and run it under 3 seconds. That's a magic mark for over 20 metres for AFL players, and he could never get anywhere near that 3-second mark, and he did everything he could. He tested himself about 1,000,000 times, just kept going back thinking he'd get a better result. That's what champions do. They keep working, but he could never actually get to that point.
Do you know what he should have done? Put a pair of footy boots on and a jumper and got himself in a game. Because I reckon he does move faster than on game day.
He's an illusionist, isn't he? He makes things appear as they're not often. Jones, little one, McDonald, Cross, Hogan, and they've almost run out of options, the Demons. Something miraculous needs to happen now. Jones has just entered into 30 territory. Well, here's Pedersen, where Howe was not so long ago. So Elliott and Cloak goals in this term.
Just there.
And at 3/4 time, the Pies by just 12. They've had a lot of the football in this final term, and the Demons have been unable to find a major. So to bring it back under 4 goals, they're desperate for it, but Cam is unable to provide what the fans were looking for in the red and blue.
It's been pretty quiet today, but certainly the last few weeks with Dawes out of the team, he's done well up forward, Pedersen.
Angus Brayshaw is going to be a terrific player. The 18 disposals today. He just looks so balanced when he gets the ball. He reminds me of like Trent Cotchin. Strong over the ball, strong in the contest, and real steady when he uses it.
Goldsack. Tuvey. So the Pies are looking at a 7-3 record. They were 8-3 last year and then had a lot of injuries and fell away late. It's going to be fascinating to see the second half of the season for them. They've got a big match next week before all of that.
Yours.
Tumpers, one hand couldn't quite. Hogan hasn't really had any impact. Probably the quietest match he's had. Williams, Langdon. Langdon arches the back, straightens the body, hooks it around. Not a bad kick. To go, he's searching some tired boys. Dunn, Lumumba, quick release. Cloak, so strong, held them up. Swan, back to Tumpus, getting some footy into him. And that one to half forward. Brown, front spot. Good spoil at the back. Coming from Jones. Langdon's quick kick around the body. Demons have the numbers, but side bottom. Chips in.
Well, he was desperate for it, wasn't he? Just slid in front of a couple of Demons and owned the football. Crisp to Grundy, who's had a big afternoon. He's found the targets for Solo moments ago.
Stay there.
Talked about Hogan. Tim said earlier he never gets outmarked, and just then Nathan Brown looked like he was going to take the mark, but Hogan still came through with the spoil.
Well, White, Pendlebury, front spot Elliott. Cross couldn't quite connect. Jetta, clever. Knocked it down to Viney. Back to Vince. Kicked an important goal in that third term. Tumpus has the skipper running. Newton almost ran himself into trouble. Back to Jones. Now to Hogan, who's a long way from home. Garlett and Brayshaw, the only men for the Demons in dangerous territory, and they're both covered off. McDonald on terrific hands in front of Varco. So they've been brave, the Demons, this afternoon, but the Pies will turn at 7-3.
It's going to be a big game next Sunday, as you said, against the Giants. So both teams with 7 wins and both hoping to play finals this year.
Well, it's a top 4 spot right now between the two of them, isn't it? Have you seen McDonald's game, Maxie, after the... Well, all day, I mean...
It was a rough start, and he went on to Elliott at different times, and Jamie still had an impact. So certainly not one of his best days, but he is still a young defender. Occasionally you are going to get beaten. Any good defender is going to get beaten at different times, particularly by someone like Trav Cloke. But the ball was coming in so easily for them in that first quarter. But I think he's still going to be talked about for All-Australian selection at this early part of the year.
So Elliott, this is the best I've seen Cloke play, I reckon, for about 3 years. I don't know about you. I don't think I've seen him play this well for a fair while.
Yeah, this has been a really good game by him.
Move it on.
It's probably been the difference in the end.
I mean, he's always a force because he's a target, but he felt like he was back to that year where he kicked the 68 today, 69. So
Play on.
side bottom off the step. Cross has done a terrific job on him for a lot of the day. And speaking of Cross, he's taken some marks today. How many total for Cross, his marks? He took a lot of intercepts. That's his 8th mark today. It's not part of his CV generally, but what a player he is. Kicks the half forward. Good mark taken by another guy. Well, he's had a remarkable game, really, hasn't he? In a very specialised role as a sweeping defender.
I would have loved to have seen the actual scoreboard for when Oxley's been the extra man behind the ball, because it's been huge.
Holding the man, Melbourne, and a nut.
Who found Oxley in Queensland? He's a rookie elevation, Maxi.
It would have been Derek Hine. So they've been waiting for him. He's had a few injuries, had a really bad ankle injury 2 years ago that he struggled to get over. Finally now he's got himself fit and he's getting to more contests so he can actually play a role across half-back and on a wing.
Well, that ankle restricted him just 3 games last year in the VFL, but hasn't missed this year. So the famous number 11 thumps the ball forward, the fall of the ball, Varco, Garlett, put the pressure on, Tuvey, out of the man that we've been speaking about in Oxley, back to Varco. If that's not deliberate, there never has been one in the history of the game.
It's clever.
Not called. Is the road ahead. So the Giants are by, and then some really tough Dockers and Hawks are waiting. So the next month, you could win all 3, lose all 3, or split it.
And they've got Port Adelaide in Adelaide after that.
Gee, that's a tough month, isn't it? So this is vital today that they've been able to get the points. They've been challenged for much of the day. It's been a spectacular match. The last quarter, the goals have dried up. The tension was there early, though, in the last term. Cross puts the tackle on, and he's going to be rewarded. So Melbourne hasn't fallen away. They've just missed a couple of shots in this last quarter. Jones off a step. Howe, he was the one that missed that very important goal. He's played well, though. Goldsack tackled up the front, ball not coming out, and a ball up. Terrific game. 66,000 for the D's. Will St Kilda next week. That's a line ball game. Cats down at Geelong, and West Coast. Is it in Darwin? I'm trying to think. Where was that?
Let it go. Boys,
Teo.
So
yours now.
Swanee. Kennedy down the line.
Play on. Play on. Come on, tackle, defend off. Advantage.
So the advantage for Melbourne. Can they get one last goal? Tumpus and McDonald might have the final say, ironically, after having 4 goals kicked on him in the opening term. He's only kicked 3 goals in his career to date. Wouldn't have had many more shots than that, you would have thought.
Good to see him finish with one.
Yep, he's a good kick.
That's how I saw it.
He's had a lot of the ball, but he had 4 goals kicked on him by Cloke. This will be a nice finish for him. He's missed it. He's kicked it like the fullback that he's been all year, and that's it. What a day. A memorable day in so many ways. Collingwood win the big freeze at the MCG.